do some kind of like really psychedelic, funny, weird thing in the beginning. But all these are usually attempts to procrastinate saying what's going on. And I think that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world, because sometimes it takes a little bit of time to really figure out what it is you're thinking or what it is that you're going through. And yet, I always feel a kind of aching guilt when I'm not honest with you guys about what's happening, because over the years that I've been doing this thing, what I've learned is whenever I'm honest with you, usually the feedback I get is thanks for being so honest. That helped a lot. And then you'll often give me little tips or advice or things for me to think about that encourage me to be more honest the next time. So I always feel like I'm letting you down a little bit if I don't fully report in. So fuck it. Here's what's going on. I'm just gonna say it. It's probably gonna come out in some imperfect way, of course, duh. But I'm just gonna say it, and then we're gonna dive into this hilariously weird episode with Johnny Pemberton. All right, here's the thing. Since that Chris Ryan episode, I have been experimenting with non-monogamy, polyamory. I've been seeing two wonderful beings who have a lot of experience being non-monogamous, polyamorous, who just aren't monogamous people. And they've been teaching me in a lot of things about how to do it. And man, it's really, there's a lot of things that keep coming to mind. One of them is the time I was one of them is any time I've been hanging out with some of my friends who have given up monogamy and have judged those friends. So I think back to time, and I don't know which of them I can name, so I'm not going to name any of them. But I could just think of times they've been talking to me about what they're going through, and I've secretly been judging them, thinking like, oh my God, really? You're okay with that? Like it doesn't bother you that your girlfriend is like fucking some dude somewhere? That doesn't eat you alive, man? That doesn't drive you up the fucking wall? And of course I wouldn't say that. Or if I did say it, I would probably be a little less brutal about it. I would say something like, I'd say the truth, which is like, wow, that'd really fucking bother me, man. That would drive me crazy. I don't think I'd be able to sleep at night knowing that was happening. And then I would think to myself, well, they're being weak. That's not very masculine, is what I would think. And it's all insanity. It was just crazy, insecure judgment, all stemming from, I think, a kind of massive flaw in my ideas of what intimate love is supposed to look like. And I think a lot of those ideas got implanted in my head through in a lot of different ways. And I think it's a real brutal burden to carry around this insane idea that love looks like a person being controlled by your expectations, and that love looks like a person giving up intimate connections to half the species so that they can be with you, and that love looks like a person cutting off all the potential sweetness they could experience from different lovers than you. But I think I really believed that for a long time. And I think because of that belief, I probably caused a lot of people, including myself, a lot of heartache and pain. People who had to put up with my jealousy and weirdness and attempts to manipulate and control, all because I just wanted to be the most important thing in their life out of a kind of narcissistic, egoic need to be the center of their universe or something like that. I mean, it's not so cut and dry. Like if you've ever gone through anything like that before, it's not like it's not like you're waking up in the morning thinking, how can I make myself the center of this person's universe? How can I prevent this person from experiencing happiness with another person other than me? How can I make sure that this person is definitely not going to pursue anything that looks remotely like something more than a basic platonic friendship with other people in their life? You don't think about it like that. It's almost instinctual. It's like some low level, like adjusting of rules, producing rules and questions. And there are interrogations. There will be interrogations. There will be questions. Their phone will buzz and you'll look at it. You'll try to see the text that pops up on the screen. Just really embarrassing stuff like that. And that's the person that I have become in many relationships. And I'm really sorry that I was that person. And now that I'm learning about this other way of doing love and realizing that the thing I was most terrified of is in fact the thing I should have been like headed towards, I'm having a similar experience to somebody who's like sobering up after a 2-decade alcoholic blackout, where I'm looking back and thinking, my fucking God, what was I thinking? Why was I acting like that? Who was I? Why would I be so jealous? Why would I be so embarrassing? Why would I be so controlling? Why was I like that? So that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, it sounds like I feel ashamed or guilty. It's not so much that as much as a sense of regret, a feeling of like, fuck, man. Like, there were a lot of times where I was like talking to people. You know, someone who's like completely public about his Aubrey Marcus. There were times when I was talking to Aubrey and he was like laying it down for me in this really like cool, honest, vulnerable way. And I like in every single one of those moments, like there was a chance for me to for something to click into place, and it didn't. It took a lot of luck, and it took like, you know, crossing paths with some pretty advanced beings who were able to sort of literally like move energy through me so that I could kind of let go of the rotten burden of being a sex cop. You don't want to be a sex cop, man. If you're going to be a sex cop, the kind of sex cop you want to be is the kind of sex cop that shows up at parties and strips for people. But you don't want to be a sex cop who is monitoring every single indication emanating from your partner for any sign that they might be finding another man or woman attractive, or that they might be pursuing some kind of intimate tryst with someone other than you. You don't want to be that person. And man, I've walked that beat for the last 2 decades, and it is a grim beat to walk, and it leads to no joy, and it leads to no happiness, and it leads to nothing more than a general feeling of bitterness. So what's happening to me right now, and I think this is going to be the intro I'm going to use, is I feel like I've sort of come under the tutelage of some pretty cool people who have been showing me a completely new way of experiencing intimacy that I had always secretly reviled and judged and rolled my eyes at and thought to myself, that doesn't work. Which is truly one of the most hilarious things for a serial monogamist who's been in many, many long-term relationships to say non-monogamy doesn't work. It's like somebody who's been in like 30 car crashes saying motorcycles are dangerous. Really, really, really ridiculous. But the hesitation I'm feeling is also, I know that when I find something really cool, get starry-eyed over it and then get get a naive idea that this is going to be some utopian way of existence and that this will be a turbulence-free modality or something, which is why I hesitate. So if in the next few weeks or months, as you hear this thing that I'm figuring out evolve over the course of the podcast, please forgive me if suddenly at some point I'm like, that was fucked, that was wrong. I was wrong. It's a mess. There's nothing more horrible than having the experience of love from more than one person. God, why would you ever want that? Why would you ever want to experience sweetness and love with many, many people who have spent a long time cultivating their ability to experience joy for you, even if that joy isn't related to them? I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows, man? I don't know. But for me, this podcast has been a combination of things. It's a way for me to sort of work shit out in my own head. It's a way for me to send signals out to you, the universe, and get signals back that help me sort of work through my own shit. And thank you for that so much. And it's my job. And it seems like it has something in common with one of the fundamental pillars of non-monogamy, which is something Chris Ryan has talked about, and the people who I have been with have sort of taught me, which is honesty. Like it's the more honest you can be with yourself, and the more honest you can be with your lovers and your friends, even when it doesn't feel good to be honest, the better your life becomes. And this is an experiment that has worked for me. The experiment of monogamy has not worked that well, or I guess you could say it has worked in the sense that it has gotten me to the point where I am now really aware of how important truth and honesty is when it comes to intimate relationships, and any relationship for that matter. And so that's where I'm at. And I did it. That's the intro. 12 minutes. I had to get it off my chest. God, you should have, I've been like I've tried like multiple stupid intros over and over and over again, just desperately trying to avoid saying, man, I've been doing this thing and I met these people and they're teaching me this stuff about polyamory, and it's crazy and beautiful, and it's like filling my heart with joy, and it's making me feel so light and good, and I've been grinning from ear to ear, and I feel really good right now. But instead I've been like trying to do it's just like rants about how I should be allowed to heat my hot tub more than 104 degrees, which, by the way, I fucking should. It's insane that the federal government is dictating a limit on how hot we can make our hot tubs. But that's another rant for another podcast. This podcast, my friends, is a dark journey through the weird phone labyrinth that springs up around you when you find yourself waiting for AT&T to install internet at your house. And I know that might not sound like something horrific, but the podcast you're about to hear happened within a period of time where I was basically put under home arrest by AT&T. 3 days of sitting at home waiting for someone to come to put internet in my house and being unable to leave. It was like the most boring episode of Black Mirror ever. A 3-day episode of Black Mirror where I just sat and waited for a knock at the door so I could get internet. Very sad. We're going to dive right into that, and Johnny Pemberton is going to be our guide right after this. This episode of the DTFH is brought to you by the Kings and Queens of Sleep over at Casper.com. Friends, don't let one of your lovers walk out on you because your mattress looks like something thrown out the window of a tuberculosis ward. It's time for you to get rid of that old mucusy stinker and replace it with a beautiful Casper mattress designed by humans for humans. Casper's breathable design helps you sleep cool and regulates your body temperature throughout the night. Have you ever heard of spontaneous human combustion. This happens sometimes where someone's laying on a shitty mattress and they explode into flames, not only igniting themselves, their mattress, and whoever might be sleeping next to them, but potentially their entire apartment complex or home. Don't spontaneously combust. Get a safe Casper mattress that's breathable so you can sleep cool at night. With over 20,000 reviews and an average of 4.8 stars across Casper, Amazon, and Google, Casper is becoming the internet's favorite mattress. The original Casper mattress combines multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep service with the right amounts of both sink and bounce. You know what that means? That means humping, friends. That's a sweet, polite way for Casper to say, our mattresses are made so that you can get down. You can have that bounce, that extra little support from the universe so that you can reach those high-level tantric orgasms with your multiple super advanced polyamorous lovers who are teaching you how to be a more compassionate, caring person while dissolving your ego in a sweet ocean of bliss. Casper offers two other mattresses, the Wave and the Essential. The Wave features a patent-pending premium support system to mirror the natural shape of your body. The Essential has a streamlined design at a price that won't keep you up at night. You can be sure of your purchase with Casper's 100-night risk-free Sleep On It trial. Friends, I've slept on a Casper mattress for years. I love my Casper mattress. It's an incredible moment when you get your Casper box and drag it into your bedroom and open it, and this beautiful dream raft comes exploding into your life. A raft that potentially not only could be the thing upon which you spawn the coming Messiah, but also the raft that, who knows, it could take you into the spirit world. Many people die on mattresses, and I hope you're one of them, as opposed to dying in the mouth of a lion or falling into a wood chipper. Right now, you can get $50 towards select mattresses by going to casper.com/family hour and using promo code FAMILYHOUR at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. You can get $50 towards select mattresses by visiting casper.com/family hour and using offer code FAMILYHOUR at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. A massive thank you to those of you who have subscribed to patreon.com/DTFH. We've got some news on the Patreon front. I'm trying to connect it to a Discord server. Here's the bigger news. This house that I'm in has got 700 Mbps upload speed, which means I can stream live video. So I'm trying to figure out a way to incorporate that with Patreon. But in the meantime, if you want more DTFH and if you want commercial-free episodes of the DTFH, head over to patreon.com/DTFH and subscribe. Sitting there right now are 3 unreleased episodes of the podcast, one with Cole Marta, one with Natasha Leggero and Ricky Lindholm, and one with the great Bert Kreischer. They're just sitting there waiting for you with no commercials, no rambling hippie monologues about polyamory, just straight conversation. If that's what you're looking for, head over to patreon.com/DTFH. We also have a shop at duncantrussell.com with lots of t-shirts and posters. Check it out. Okay, sweeties, this episode needs a little bit of a preface because at the end of the conversation with Johnny, there is an hour-long recording of a conversation we had with AT&T. And I thought to myself, well, maybe you should edit out the hold music. Maybe you should edit out the awkward moments. Maybe you should edit out the points that are kind of boring. But I realized that to do that is to rob you of the spiritual punch to the solar plexus that comes from interacting with the superorganisms that we currently call corporations. Also, not to spoil the whole thing, I feel like I have to say that after lambasting AT&T throughout this episode, I would be remiss if I did not mention that the person who actually came and installed the internet in my house spent 8 hours, 6 hours here, and was a really sweet, dedicated, cool person. So I can't really completely hate AT&T. In fact, I don't hate any one person at AT&T any more than I hate any one cell in Jeffrey Dahmer's body. I don't even hate Jeffrey Dahmer, but it's the interaction of those cells that produces the monster. And when it comes to corporations, it's not the individuals working at these places that are bad. None of them are at all. They're all pretty cool, sweet, at the very worst, bored people. But the sum total, the thing that Fritz Perls called the gestalt of these massive corporations, is sinister and is something that we should be very, very nervous about as corporations continue to grow and to spread and to gain incredible power. All right, so let's do this. Everybody, please spread the legs of your heart and squirt all over the face of today's guest, who has a wonderful podcast called Live to Tape, who is about to release an exclusive cassette tape of his phone calls that he's made to various corporations. He happens to be a master of it, who is a brilliant comedian who, if you live in Los Angeles, you should definitely go to his Dicker Troy show, and who is someone I am so lucky to have in my life. Please welcome to the Duncan Trussell Family Hour podcast, Johnny Pemberton. Johnny.
Doogie.
Welcome to the DTFH. Thank you so much for coming.
It's great to be here in the DTFH.
It is.
DTFH.
So yeah, man, this is like, you are on day 3 of the strangest 2 days of my life.
Really? The strangest 2 days of your life?
I'm going to say like the strangest in the sense like the most sinister.
Oh.
Like bad. Like not, I've had strange days that are great,
right.
But this has been so.
It's been disruptive.
It's been the most freaky thing that's ever happened.
It's been the opposite of lucky.
Yeah, it's diabolical.
Okay.
And it's ominous is another way to put it. It's an ominous few days.
Ooh, I'm excited to hear about this.
So, like, I don't know. I just moved into this new place, by the way.
It's beautiful.
Welcome. You're the first. Thank you for shaking my hand.
We just touched hands to concretize the bond.
Concretize. We've concretized our fraternal bond.
Right. Oh, great fan. Just noticed the fan up there. So you moved into the new place.
Moved into this beautiful new place. I've never been in a place I've been this happy about in my life. It's amazing.
It's really good. It's got a good feel to it. Nice woo, as they would say in China.
Yeah,
it's got strong woo. Yes. I think that's their actual term. I'm not kidding.
Really?
I think it's the thing. Someone told me that's actually, it may not be Chinese. It may be like a Shinto thing.
Woo?
Woo. I think it has to do with feng shui, like in terms of you see a stick and it's like, oh, that stick looks really nice.
You know, woo is definitely one of the words I would like stricken from the vernacular because it gets used so many times by people who more than likely couldn't tell you basic scientific principles.
You mean like me?
Yeah. Well, right, but you don't throw out like, what I'm saying is like you'll get in conversations with people and they're like, that's like a bunch of woo. And as though they were...
Really?
Oh, sure. Like people who act like they're fucking Newton or something, you know? It's like, oh, really? Like they're Neil deGrasse Tyson or something. Like you throw out something like synchronicity or some real thing that happened to you.
Line luck? You know about line luck?
What is that?
Line luck is when you show up at like a bakery or a coffee shop or any place there would potentially be a line, and you walk in and there's no line, and then seconds or maybe less than a minute afterwards, you look behind you and there's 15 people behind you.
Okay, yeah.
I just had that.
Okay, yeah.
It's called line luck.
Line luck. Those kinds of things. The kinds of things that are seemingly difficult to quantify.
Right.
And that people will throw out something that they read in a book they were skimming, and they'll be like, oh, no, this is confirmation bias or something like that. But the reality is, much like most of us, they don't really have a firm grasp on the scientific method, the history of science, and if they do, they're somehow missing something, and you just get that sense, and yet they will disregard anything that seems slightly outside of their Discovery Channel level understanding of the world.
Like it's the thing where you discount it because you're like, oh, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why, but there's definitely something up.
Enough of the woo, man. Enough of the woo. It's making me sick. You're really spewing bullshit. How much
people say woo in terms of bullshit?
Yeah, woo is, and I use it as a.
I didn't know that. Honestly, I've only heard it in terms of like.
Yeah, woo.
Of that.
Woo.
Like Wu-Tang Clan.
No, woo is like what's the word for it? So if you
Hokum?
If you decided to become a bro scientist, then more than likely you're going to use the term woo.
How's it spelled?
Oh, W-O-O.
Oh, see, I'm talking about W-U.
Okay, that's different. That's woo.
I've literally never heard W-O-O used before.
That's woo.
Really?
Not woo. You're talking woo.
So they're talking about like woo. I get it. It's a thing you call bullshit on something. You say it's like,
yeah.
It's just, it's.
Yeah. And it's, and I've used it, but I use it just because if I'm talking to someone, I'll use it as a term of convenience to try to like calm them down a little bit, so that I don't set off their cosmos bristles. Like somebody's been watching many people will sit and watch 3 episodes of Cosmos.
I think they got
and
it.
become convinced that they understand the great mysteries of the universe, or maybe they throw in a couple of planet Earths. And they're like, they've got it down. They understand. They'll be like, no, man, it's all evolution.
I feel like it's the opposite. You see stuff on planet Earth when you see like 2 slugs have this weird like spiral drip mating ritual, and you're like, oh, everything is the same. Everything is just completely bizarre, and there's no sense.
That's because you're
It's madness.
That's because that's it. But I think many people, their reaction to the madness and the understanding that the universe they're in is a thing with the blinking, spinning, whirling eyes.
Beach, like a fucking iron lung.
Yeah, they can't handle that. So what they do is they produce a false sense in their own self. Like, no, everything is rational. Everything is logical.
Right.
Things follow a very specific pattern that can be quantified.
The phlogiston.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but that's more of a defense mechanism against the reality of the thing, which is that we're probably in some kind of kaleidoscoping temporal avalanche of multiverses that keep collapsing in on each other, and we're being stretched and spun and split. Our reality tunnels are constantly fracturing at the subconscious level.
We keep failing to transcend the next dimension that everyone else in the universe has done.
Yes.
They're like, God, they're so fucking close.
That's it.
Ah, man, that guy hadn't tied up those kids in Riverside, man. They would have done it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
there's no power in your computer.
What's that?
Your computer doesn't have power into it.
91% battery.
Okay, just,
Sometimes, thank you for pointing that out. Sometimes when you put and I know because we've had some hiccups. We'll get to that little.
Okay.
Speaking of like turbulent bumps.
Yeah.
And our particular acreage of the multiverse, we'll talk about that. But to get back to what's been happening to me.
Okay, we haven't even talked about it yet. You just sort of you alluded to it.
This beautiful place. So I'm like, okay, I got to get the internet. So I go online, looking at the internet services, and holy shit, man, AT&T, they have got a fucking fiber optic option, which means I can get 1,000 Mbps download speeds. That is that's like a T1 line.
It is a T1 line.
That's a T1
It's literally
line.
a T1, right?
So that's perfect for streaming.
For government data.
For everything. That's just insane, and it's just the most amazing thing. So I set up an appointment for 2 days ago between 11 and 1 o'clock, right? Whatever. It's just like, like you do for things.
Right.
You set up an appointment. So you got to be home. It's the window. You got to be home for the window.
Right. It's always the very first minute of the window or 5 minutes after the window.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I'm there for the window and no one shows up. So it's like, whatever. I mean, I'm sure they're just running late or whatever. No big deal.
Right.
I don't mind staying home for a few more hours, but they still haven't shown up. So I get an offshore place.
You mean like an offshore call center?
Yeah, and the person is like, oh, no, they're just running late. They'll be there So I'm like, God damn it. All right. It's like 2 or 3 now. It's like, fuck it. I'll just wait. It's T1 line. So still no one shows up, right? So I call back. Now it's like 5. I call back and I'm like, hey, what's going on? You guys said someone was coming. They haven't come yet. And they're like, okay, we're going to have them call you. So this guy calls at like 5 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Or what's going on? Are you guys, why didn't you guys call just to say you're not going to make it? And the guy's like, I'm calling you now. And I'm like, okay.
What do you mean? What kind of tone was that?
He was pissed. Because I didn't realize at the time to get a call from a technician from AT&T is like up there with like getting a call from the fucking Pope.
Bullshit.
Okay, so now check. So I'm like, look, you guys just have to like tell me if you're not going to be here.
Yeah, what am I, made of money?
I'm like, so, but when are you guys going to be here? And he says, well, we don't really know. And I'm like, well, wait, what do you mean?
You tell them about the window? You're like, you guys are supposed to be here from 11 to 1.
Yeah.
I was given a 2-hour window.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a slave to you. I got things to do, places to be.
I'm moving into my house. I want to get some shelving units. I want to get some speaker stands. I want to run some errands. The dog needs walks.
I want to go shit off site.
I want to go shit.
That's what I should have told them. Look, I want to go shit off site.
I want to take a shower. Uh-huh. You know, I don't want, because like if I'm in the shower and they show up.
And then you're like, oh no, we got to wait 3 weeks to reschedule. So he's like, oh man, I'm already getting bristle.
Just wait.
I'm bristling.
Just wait. This is nothing.
God.
So the guy, I'm like, all right. I call. He's like, this is what he says to me. I'm like, so when are you guys gonna get here? Mm-hmm. And he's like, we don't really know. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't know? Am I supposed to wait at my house for however long until you guys show up?
Right.
And he goes, it's complicated, man. And I'm like, all right, look, give me do you have who do you work for? Can I call them? He gives me some number.
What's the tone of this conversation at this point? Is it
the guy? It's the same tone you get with every AT&T person.
He's being defensive. Would you say?
No, it's like you've made a phone call to a chasm. Like
how dare you?
No, it's like a chasm.
Okay, just nothing.
A soulless chasm that speaks with wind. You know, a mysterious thing that has somehow abnegated its personality. Like its personality it's like a fungus. Like imagine like you're talking to like
a collective,
a fungal collective.
Okay,
it's like more like that. So I called the call center. And I talked.
What did the guy finish saying? He didn't finish what he said.
The guy,
it's complicated when we're going to be here.
Complicated. He's like, he can't explain when they're going to come. He seems like, I don't know the right word for it, man. He just doesn't know what's happening, but he sounds overloaded. Maybe they've got a bunch of shit going on.
Yeah,
who knows?
They're backed up.
So I call again the call center, and I'm like, what's going on, man? All you guys have to tell me is you're not coming. Mm-hmm. I don't care. I have a hotspot on my phone. It's not like I'm desperate for the internet right now. So they're like, okay, well, they're going to come tomorrow.
They tell you time?
What? Yeah, they gave me a window. And now I can't remember what the window was. Now, this is yesterday. So I think it was between 1 and 3 yesterday.
Right,
that they were
2-hour classic 2-hour window.
So the same thing happens yesterday. Like
they don't show up.
I call again, and they're like, no, they're coming. Mm-hmm. And they don't show up. But the thing is, they're not telling me they're not coming. They're literally saying, just wait. They're going to be there. So all day yesterday, I keep calling. I've recorded one of the phone calls. But that's towards the end, But all day yesterday, I'm calling them, and they keep saying, no. They're going to be there. They're going to be there. So I wait because it's like, shit, I've already waited one entire day for AT&T to come. I've invested all this time. It's a T1 line, right? I want the T1 line because I can stream video for sure.
But it's just the same as anything else. They don't have to do anything special. They don't have to dig a hole. They just hook up the wires.
Well, and even that, like maybe it is special. Like maybe they've got to run some crazy line or whatever. But
I can't think it's significantly. They've been running fiber for years. This isn't new.
All they have to do is just tell me we're not going to be there today. We overestimated our workload. God. So we're going to come a week from now even, and for sure. But they're just like, they just keep saying we're going to come. I'm ordering groceries in. I can't go out. So all day yesterday, I am staying in because they're saying they're going to come. All day. They keep saying, you are on the docket. Like you're on there is a work order out.
Did you talk to the technician too?
You can't get in touch with the technicians. And the other thing is you can't get in touch with a specific person at AT&T. Every time
it's always a new person.
Always a new person. These are the things I learned. One, if you get an offshore person,
it's like the Borg.
You can tell the offshore person to talk to someone in the United States because sometimes their accents are difficult to understand.
Yeah.
So you can be like, hey, can I speak to someone in the United States? They'll be like, I can handle it. You're like, I know, but they said I could talk to someone in the United States. It's just a little hard sometimes to understand your accent. And so they will send you back to the United States. You'll get to the United States and you'll talk to someone, and every one of these times you have to go through the exact same series of questions.
Right.
It takes about 5 minutes. Anyway, the long and short of it is I have been on the phone with AT&T now for a total of 4 hours, not exaggerating, literally 4 hours on hold. And so last night, it's, the sun has gone down, it's dark. You realize, holy fuck, they're not going to come. 2 days now I've been waiting. They're not going to fucking come. So I get on the phone with this woman, and everyone is just like, look, we're going to do this. We're going to work on it. I'm going to call the dispatch center. We're calling the dispatch center. The dispatch center will say, yeah, they're on the way. They're on the way. They don't fucking come. So whoever I talked to last night is like, we're going to have someone call you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and let you know about the dispatch person. So
this is today.
Today. So no one calls today. So then I call AT&T again, and they're like, yeah, we've got someone coming now. He's been sent. He's coming. This is at 8. He's going to be there. And so it's like now. Then it's like 9:30 or 10. Still no one has come. So then I call back, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're sorry. As it turns out, the line outside it isn't even working." And so
how the fuck do you know it isn't working?
Because the dispatch center tells them this. So
how do they know? They haven't been here,
dude. At this point, I start screaming. Like I start like somebody who is like finally broken through the thick sheet of ice in the Arctic covering the cave that's filled with the Cthulhu ancient beings that drive you insane from looking at it. Like, I break, man. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I've been here for 2 days! 2 days! Do you not understand? I'm screaming, man. All the Ram Dass shit, all the Neem Karoli
out the window.
Out the fucking window, man. I am like, the poodle is like cowering. The dogs are freaking out. I feel like I'm gonna fucking. I don't know what to do. It's like and the sick part is I could easily just be like, forget it.
Yeah,
forget
cancel
it.
I'll get different service.
Different service. What do I? But I want that fucking T1 line.
Yeah.
So what's happening right now is it was supposed to be here now. It's 11:41. They were supposed to be here between 9 and 11. And so right before you came, I was on the phone with them. And they're like, they'll be there between 11 and 1. So they just keep pushing it ahead by 2 hours. And this is and I'm sorry, you guys, you've had to listen to this long, sick story.
I want to call them.
Well, let's do it. Let's call them right now.
I'll call them. This is like a specialty of mine, is talking to these people. Yeah,
let's give them a call. I mean, let me just, I want to play something for you. Well, no, you're going to call, so we'll hear it. So I guess let's do that. Well, Johnny, you could make this call.
My technique, I have a special technique for it. I call it being overly explicit. Well, I don't have a name for it, but what it is, it's a combination of being extremely explicit to the point where you almost assume the person has no understanding of anything, but also super nice, but also there's this thing I think you have to do. You have to be like, you have to be sad. To be like, I'm at my, like, not angry, but sad.
Okay.
Like, you're like,
I love it.
I don't know what to do. I think I'm so, like, almost, you have to give them the whiff of suicide.
Okay. That's a good tactic. Just so you know, here's what's going to happen. You're going to call. They're going to ask what you're calling about. It's going to be a computer at first.
Right.
it's going to not know my phone number eventually.
Of
Like
course.
it'll say, is this the number? And then it'll say,
Right.
you're calling about a work order, and you'll say yes, and then there'll be fake typing sound, and then it'll say, there's no order associated with your number. Don't worry, this has happened. There is an order. This has happened, and then eventually you'll get a person. The person will be probably in India,
Right.
And then you could either talk to that person depending on how well you can understand them, and then or you say, transfer me to the United States, please, and then you'll talk to someone in the United States. Now, if you can, I think you should make it as your goal to try to get a supervisor on the line.
Yeah.
And then
I think from the top, I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, I've been dealing with something for several days now.
Yeah.
It's becoming a huge problem. I'm looking to cancel my service completely.
Don't say that. They'll cancel it. Don't
No, they
say
won't.
it.
That's the thing. They hate it when you cancel your service. If you they have a whole thing called customer retention. Those people, those are the fucking guys who walk around the office with their balls hanging out.
Okay.
Because these are like the fucking badasses who keep you from. If you ever have cable,
Walking around with their balls hanging out.
yeah, because these are like the fucking these are these are the fighter pilots of the cable company. Because the people, if you ever have cable TV and you want to cancel cable TV, you want to have a fun time, you want to get your ego stroked, try to cancel your cable. They will fucking be, hey man, hey, how's it going? Yeah, oh cool. So what do you watch? I mean, that show is pretty crazy, right? So you're not really interested in the service anymore, huh? Okay, maybe you could just kind of tell me why. Maybe we can work something out, because I mean, obviously, we've got a lot of different things here. We can figure something out. Okay. Oh, so you don't really watch that? Okay. Well, what about this? What if we were to offer you $49.99 for 6 months, and for an interest rate, and you can, you know what? Actually, you can still keep HBO. How about that? You want to keep that? Because I know, obviously, you guys see Game of Thrones, and then they just won't let you. Okay, well, cool. Also, well, what about oh really? Yeah, you want to come over? I got a great rib recipe from. Oh, you're vegan? Okay, actually, I am too. I just like.
You want some souffle? Come over. I'm making souffle. Now, before you make the call,
right?
Here's where it's gotten. So it went from being.
I just can't believe this, because I've had a lot of. I just don't know how there's no accountability and how it's.
There is, well, that's where this is where it gets really interesting.
Right.
This is the concept where corporations are a sociopath. So corporations are essentially a superorganism.
Well, it's faceless. There's nothing.
Right. It's a sociopath.
Yeah.
It has no real care for anyone.
It's amorphous.
And so every person I've been talking to, when I'm not freaking out and like yelling, I've been saying like, look, I know you as a person are fine, but the thing you're part of
is broken.
Is beyond broken. It's not broken. It's working, but the way it's working is the most horrifying thing ever, because it is what potentially everything can turn into, which is this sort of the human worker is a node who has a sheet of things to say, and that node is part of a web of people who sit in front of a screen with lists of things to say.
Well, we're already there.
We're there.
It's all. I think it's all just AI training. Like when you see an Uber driver trying to make a left across 3 lanes of traffic at 4:30 p.m. and because Waze is telling him to do that and not go up a block to the light where there's a left turn arrow. It's like, okay, this is a person who is like just following instructions by rote. They're just like, they're not thinking at all.
Yeah.
They're basically, and there's that thing that they found out years ago from Google that there's a reason Google gave Uber so much money, is because basically Uber is doing their R&D for them in terms of driverless cars and all the technology and the mapping and stuff. Because if you have a driver who's following the map guidance that's been given by the computer, how is that driver anything other than a computer operator? Like, it's really no different, because they're almost never, like 95% of the time, they're just following the computer guidance. They're not making any type of decision.
God.
It's like why, like when you like Uber, you call an Uber or Lyft, if your address is on the map a little off from where your address is, they're never going to show up at the address, because they're not looking at the fucking street numbers. They're looking at the map, the guidance map, because if you're doing that as a job, for the most part, I bet the vast majority of people who do that kind of settle into that theta state where they're sort of just, like when you are on the highway, you sort of your right brain, everything kind of I don't know the technical word for it, but you kind of go into that state where you're just sort of not really thinking. That's how you can drive so long and not really, oh, where am I? Oh, I've just been sort of like asleep essentially. And all that does is just give data to the people who are programming the machines that will eventually be able to do this much better.
Oh my God.
It makes so much sense that that's the case. Because
so wait, you're saying that the people have been hypnotized by the AI into a theta state, but really what they are is unwitting or I guess oblivious servants to corporations that are harvesting
They're data mining.
They're just data mining the way they handle navigating through traffic to give more rules to the AI that they're building.
So they can make the more data. It's like if you do like a medical test, right? Let's say you want to test the effects of sugar on 10-year-olds. So if you do a test and you only have 15 10-year-olds, your data is not going to be as strong as someone who, we tested it on a group of 10,000 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
So the data set is so massive
that
it's like this, when you present something like that, and that's why scientists who want to do research want to work for the bigger companies, because their data sets are so big. When they present their findings, they can be like, look at how much information we've gathered. And so you think about Google's doing the same thing with Uber. It's like, well, how do we get the most real-time traffic data? Oh, how about we pay Uber to let us mine this if you use our software? And so they have fucking, God knows, they probably have like several million hours of data.
Dude, so it's kind of like, okay, we want to study wolves.
Right.
And so what we do is we go in, we smack one of them with a dart gun, knock them out, put a tracking chip on the wolf's neck, track the wolf, and then we understand the way that they function.
Yeah, but they move.
This seems to be more like, instead of tranquilizing people, we've given them something that is innately tranquilizing, which is technology, and we like shift their perception, their perceptual apparatus to a mode of kind of a numb, empty focus, so that we can fully track them, gathering their data, so that we can eventually replace them with something that is pure AI.
You're replacing them with a collective. It's like, why would you have these autonomous drivers when you have a system that's all working together? Traffic would disappear because you wouldn't have someone making a left, because the computer learns that, okay, for the past 1,000 times someone's tried to make a left on this street, it's caused this happen, because you have all this data coming in from everywhere, and if you can measure all that data, we don't ask them to make a left there. We ask them to make a left at the arrow, because that increases the flow of traffic and makes everything faster and more efficient, so you make more money and everything's better. It's the same reason that UPS drivers, they never make a left turn. Their routes have been like some badass mathematicians figured out, if we program their routes so they never have to make a left turn, they'll save some massive amount on gas, because they're not idling. They're never idling to wait for a left turn, and so they fucking save shitloads of money.
Do you ever play around with the idea that AI is an alien intelligence that is kind of like the process of colonizing the planet, and so the first step is to do a full analysis of the biorhythms and patterns of the most advanced species on the planet prior to the invasion?
Right. I kind of feel like the opposite. I don't feel like it's an invasion. I think it's more it's just the next step.
I don't know, man. I think that it's like, so in my most
that's like it's fun to think about that. I think it's kind of, you're so about to say in your most paranoid or something.
No, not paranoid. My most high moments, when I think about it, my idea is, we have made a classic mistake, which is, it is truly one of the classic mistakes.
Humans have, you mean?
Yeah. Humans have made one of the classic mistakes, because the classic mistake doesn't just happen with UFOs. It happens with love. It happens with happiness. It happens with everything, which is that you think, oh my God, they're fucking here.
No, that's Amazon. Oh my God! That was was Amazon. Also, it was like, the guy had some girl with him with like the largest fake eyelashes I've ever seen in my fucking life. She like fucking parachutes on her face. Are you kidding me? What's going on here?
Dude, hold on. Let me calm the dogs down.
I'm pretty sure it's just Amazon.
Okay, so the classic mistake.
Right.
You think you know what many people think they know what love looks like. Many people think they have an idea in their mind of what their happy life is going to look like. They have an idea in their mind of what success looks like. They have an idea in their mind of what so many things look like when really they don't have any idea at all. But they're looking for the thing based on their idea, which has been created out of materials that have been given to them by TV mostly, or by their parents, or by friends who are addled, because like the idea they have of what the thing is,
it's like warped,
and
it's like from weird influences.
Yeah, so it's kind of like an example is you're telling someone, hey, can you find a key? It's in my house. I need you to find this key. But you don't tell them that the key looks like a pentagram with an eye in the middle of it and has like glowing rubies around the side of it.
Right, they're looking for a little piece of metal with a little jagged piece of metal.
So even though that fucking crazy ass thing that you use to open up the annex in your temple where the imps are housed is laying right on your obsidian fucking table, they're looking everywhere else for what they thought a key would look like, so they're never going to find it. So in the same way, people think, oh, I know what love looks like. I know what love feels like.
It's The Bachelor.
What?
It's The Bachelor. That's what love is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So, in the same way, people think they know what an alien invasion would look like. And people think they know what a UFO would look like. People think what's really hilarious about people thinking they know what an alien would look like is that the very word itself, alien, implies this is a thing completely
foreign.
Beyond foreign.
Right.
Like, we're talking about something that could have emerged from some biosphere that is interdimensional, that is not even interdimensional, that comes from a non-linguistic, non-articulable area of something that we don't even understand or know exists. And so we have not even the vaguest possibility of even saying what it is outside of saying it's alien.
Yeah, we think it's like, oh, it's going to look like a missile coming at us, or like some sort of thing hovering that's going to blot the sun out, because it's all based in. I mean, it's the same. I always think about the same way that people think about what they eat, like in terms of how, I can't eat this because I don't want to eat this animal because I am sensitive to it. But it's like, never think that you're consuming billions of bacteria. Those are alive, ostensibly.
Yeah, it's
just there's always things that are programmed in us because we want to save things that remind us of us. We don't want to hurt each other. So a fucking puppy is very close to humans. Like, it's a thing where you never want to eat this puppy because it's like, oh, that reminds me of who I am, and it does things that I do with my brother and sister or something like that. So it's that thing where if you expect it's an alien invasion because you think it's going to think like you, and not the opposite or beyond, think around you.
And you might even think like, oh, well, maybe it's going to look like a virus, or maybe it would look like a bacteria, maybe it'll look like a carbon molecule, or maybe it'll look like molecular, maybe it'll have an atomic structure, maybe it'll have something that obeys the laws of physics, maybe it'll, there's all these things, maybe it's there's all these things, but really what you end up realizing is that your preconceived notions of the way things in the future are going to look are actually modular pieces of a symbolic blindfold that is completely keeping you from possibly witnessing something that is right in front of you and is so spectacularly odd that it makes planet Earth and cosmos seem like watching paint dry. It's so bizarre. So this is why sometimes I think, oh, clearly what's happening here is that we've been dusted. We've been dusted with some kind of inspiration that has allowed people to create technology, and the technology is sticky.
Well, you could say it's just spores. I mean, that's the classic idea.
Yeah, it's spores. It's a kind of.
It could be literally spores, like literally fungal spores. This is that old idea. It's not that old, I guess, but the idea that because you know how they map fungal networks and they have the identical shape and pattern to internet
and highways.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like that. That's the stuff that sort of got me off of feeling like you're thinking about sort of like the doom of the earth, because you realize, I always think about how, like, when you really boil it down, okay, the idea of like a 3D printer, right?
Yeah.
That's like a really cool thing. It's really it's amazing, and they're probably they get so much better. They're gonna be able to do anything.
Yeah.
But if you think of like a garden, right, like a vegetable garden, like I can grow a radish, like a full-size radish, in like a very short period of time.
How long?
Like 40 days. Wow. From seed to this big fucking thing that's filled with sugar and all kinds of stuff. And you think about, I mean, I'm not joking when I feel like there's really no difference between that and a computer. Like, there's obviously like...
Sure.
But that's essentially just a little fucking computer.
It's like biotechnology.
Right, and there's all these physicists, that guy Michio Kaku, who say he's the guy who studies at, I think, the University of New York or... New York City College, whatever. He's a physicist. And he talks about how the 21st century, because you can only do so much with silicone because it can only get so small. How he's convinced that the technology that will take us off the planet, and just in general technology that's really pervasive and like does the next iteration of whatever it is to come is going to be the century of biology. Because he thinks that integration, that's where the real deep, heavy computing lies. Because you're only going to be able to make a hard drive so small, because you're limited by the size of the chips and stuff.
Right.
So you can make them small and compact. It's going to keep going, but they're going to hit a wall, and that wall is because the substrate they're using is just it's not. I don't understand the technical stuff about it, but it has to do with like the molecule size and the way it works, and so they have to move into biology. So it becomes this thing where you're making things that are computers, but they're biological entities. It's like the idea. Like, I always think that the best example to me is the whole idea of nanobots. Like we have little tiny like microscopic computers that'll go into our body and heal it. But we already have those. They're called bacteria. So imagine if you could take a bacteria and program it. Right. You could like find a way to tinker with whatever the bacteria knows to do, and you tell it to do something. You tell it to go in and fucking cut your appendix off.
Isn't that CRISPR? That's what they're doing with CRISPR, is cleaving out parts of the DNA and then sending in some kind of virus to replace the DNA. They like flood it with these viruses that or I think they're called, I'm not bacteriophages or something.
I'm not sure. Yeah, well, bacteriophage is a thing, yeah.
Some kind of thing that goes in there after you've like basically somehow annihilated some part of the DNA strand. You flood the cell, and these things go in and then replace it with some new piece, and now you've got inside of you a reprogrammed bit of code. And it's going to start producing
the right thing,
or
the better thing, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anything, and eventually they'll be able to do whatever. You can do anything. You'll be able to change any aspect of biology whatsoever. Because it's like, to think that like our bodies are like, they're fucking incredible. Like, we have these massive computers that can do. Like, you don't need to eat food for 40 days. No, any one of us who has even like just 10% body fat, maybe 15, but you can go out someplace, if you've got clean water and you're not freezing or burning up, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
you'll be fine. You'll be totally fine.
That's one of the funny things. Like when I was in New York, I fasted for 2 days without food, and the shock when you get to day 2. And you realize, like, whoa, shit. I'm not really even that hungry anymore. And that's a really odd thing to realize, because part of the thing that we've been taught here, especially in the West, is we're always supposed to be cramming shit into our mouths.
You have to,
it's like a job. Like, you should always be, have a snack nearby, something to...
What if you get hungry?
Yeah, God forbid you should get hungry. I mean, this is like terrible that you're hungry. You're hungry? Meanwhile, it's like being hungry is such a purifying, healthy feeling. Yeah, man. So, yes, I know what you're saying. And I know you're saying, oh, no, it's not coming from outside the earth. It's coming from the earth.
Right.
But one thing that we both agree on is that what we're looking at is a shrinking down. Like we're to achieve the kind of computer power, the processing power, the ability to manipulate things at the molecular level within a human being. All of these things require not big stuff, but little stuff. Shrinking. And so somewhere in there, in that micro-sizing of our tools, that I think is where there is going to be this interesting communion with an intelligence that is completely and spectacularly alien, and that it's almost, I guess, a which came first, chicken or the egg argument. But I think that in the same way that we're realizing now that many of our decisions are being controlled somehow by the chemical output of our gut bacteria, which is producing cravings that are making us do certain things.
Yeah, it's all your genome.
Yeah. I think we're going to start realizing that many of the, or I think it's possible that many of the epiphanous moments and the inspirational moments that have produced the technology that is allowing us to have Uber drivers who are being controlled by an artificial intelligence are not even coming from something with human DNA. Like what you said, fungus.
Right.
But and where that fungus came from, who the fuck knows? But this shit with AT&T has made me like think, whatever the fuck it is, it's a really ominous and creepy interaction. Like I would rather have read some kind of spell out of a book covered in like crucified baby flesh that made a little pig thing appear in my house with black eyes and fangs. What have you called me for, human? Do you seek terabytes? Do you seek a 1000 Mbps connection? Human! I would much rather have that happen. Something that smells of sulfur and those swampy pits of hell.
Have to like pay the piper.
Yeah. If you want this fast connection, I want 7 of your fingernails, and I want to eat your pinky.
Our technician's going to come over at 11:30 and give you 45 lashes.
Yeah.
Take a bunch of lashes from a technician.
I would take that. If they were like, listen, okay, here's the thing. Here's what you can choose. We're going to keep giving you windows of time that we may be there and we're not going to show up. Or Jack from the dispatch unit is going to come down and he's just going to...
Suck you, boy. He's going to suck you...
He's going to...
Suck you dry.
I mean, yeah, he's going to... Now listen, Jack's
got a rough mouth.
Jack is not what you would call symmetrical.
Jack's got a rough mouth.
So what we say about Jack is he ain't no DiCaprio. Let's just put it like that.
Let's just put it this way. Jack's had a share of Dorgan Gunch in his day. Jack's had a few cups of Dorgan Gunch.
Jack's not what you would call an androgynous man. Let's put it like that.
Let's put it this way. Jack's not what you call a sexual being so much as a rock that moves.
Jack's like just a rock that likes to... Jack's a rock that likes to suck dick. And he's got a little problem because his mouth hasn't been able to produce saliva ever since he accidentally inhaled chloroform a few weeks ago.
You ever heard of a rough ride? Let's just say it's going to be a rough ride for you, buddy. We'll get that T1 line and we'll get it up and running by the end of the day, but it's going to be a rough ride. You ever ridden in the back of a bus going on a country road? Okay.
Think of what it would be like to put the most sensitive part of your body in
the least sensitive thing that exists,
like a mouth made of gravel. Just think of that. I would definitely take that. I would take a dry, gravelly blowjob from a 68-year-old man with hooked hands and like some kind of terrible protein bar level flatulence. So they asked, he was grinding away, slurping in my cock. Just this. I would take that any day over a series of phone calls with the fucking void.
I think that you're in the Halo climb right now.
What's
we talked about the Halo climb before. I feel like we have.
Let's go back into it.
It's this thing I learned about years ago, and I was reading up something about it as a kid about how when you scuba dive,
yes,
and you go areas, there's certain areas where there's freshwater outlets into the ocean, and it creates something, or it happens in a lot of caves that are like coastal caves, underwater caves. The halocline is a thing where when the saltwater and freshwater meet, because they're obviously like different densities.
Sure.
There's like this area of a few feet that's all. It looks like you're in like an oil and water mix. It's always swirly.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It looks like you're looking through the vision. You know when heat rises in the distance off a road and it looks all squiggly, squaggly. Yeah. You're inside of that. You're in like a liquid confusion chamber. So you have to. It's called a halocline, and so. It's this thing where the things they're meeting. There's like a disturbance, a turbulence between the two worlds. And I feel like right now we are in the halocline. It's going to be a long halocline, but it's the halocline between purely biological life, like maybe how people lived before the Industrial Revolution, where you lived off the land, everything was essentially handmade.
Yeah.
We're pre-Industrial Revolution to a time when human beings, as we are before the Industrial Revolution, don't exist because we don't have the onboard biological integrated technology to do things like look at a phone for look at some sort of a interface for a certain amount of time without getting extremely depressed and isolated. Because like that's a fact.
Okay.
If you use social media all the fucking time, it's just a fact you will get depressed.
Right.
Because you're just not, your body and brain are not meant to be taking this much information in that way. We just weren't designed for that. And so we haven't upgraded yet to that level to where, okay, maybe human beings won't exist, but I think there'll be some sort of weird, like, I guess you could call it a cyborg, but I think the idea of a cyborg is so like outmoded and it's so like based in science fiction, like, oh, I'm going to have a fucking arm made of metal. I think it's not going to be that. I think it's going to be, humans will be the same as they've always been. We'll have this, some sort of weird integration with technology to the point where it's not really, what is technology? Like you could say that fingers are a technology in a way. Any kind of thing that helps you interact with the world is a technology. Just the idea that technology is separate from biology will be like a thing of the total past, to the point where we're just like, I got in an argument with my dad about this over Christmas. I was drunk. I was like, Dad, humans aren't going to exist. It's going to be a point in time when we're done. Because I was talking about how they found code, and I mean that's more like the simulation theory. But just the idea that humans, like, we're not. How we were designed does not work anymore with the world that we've created. There's so many people who are so depressed because they're the way how we live. We're just meant to live in like a tribal society where we're like constantly stressed in a good way, where we're feeling like fulfilled with our life by like fucking hunting or doing stuff that makes you feel good about what you do, because we're so strong. Like humans are just, they're fucking badass. Like we're these incredibly designed. We can do so many things that we have like the most humans can do fucking everything. We can swim, we can fly, we can do all this crazy shit, but most of us don't do anything at all. Like we don't have any type of, there's nothing to keep us. Oh my God. Second false alarm.
Yeah, the poodle got out. That was a very nice family
Christ.
that returned him, thank God. Yeah, so keep going.
Well, I think I was sort of at the end of whatever I was saying, but essentially I feel like the human body as it is now is not, like, the job that was designed for is done. And now we just need to start integrating and I don't know. I think maybe there'll be a die-off. Who knows? There'll be something big will happen.
It's like, this is how I picture it sometimes. You know, when you're, I don't know how when you've done this recently, but
taking this shit.
No, got laying in the bathtub and gone underneath the water, and you look up, and you have the water above your head, and you look, and you can kind of see through the water to what's outside, but it's shimmery and wavy and weird. Or like if you go scuba diving, and you look up, and outside above the water,
you can't really see anything.
There's reality, but what you see is just this, shimmering thing, which represents the boundary between the ocean and the land, or the ocean and the sky. And so I think what's happening is human beings are beginning to, what we call reality is, in fact, the shimmering, what did you call it?
The halo climb?
Yeah, what we're literally, you and me, and when you're looking out in the world, what you think is reality is actually an undulating veil that is separating us from what is an entirely brand new biosphere. And that somehow technology, evolution, magic, whatever you want to call it, aliens, the expansion of the universe is pushing us through the very thing that we consider to be three-dimensional space-time, and we're about to push in to some completely new place. So when you say, the cyborgs, they'll be equipped with some kind of, nootropic genetic implant that enhances their IQ, or that, whatever it may be. What really is going to happen is it's going to be a thing that allows us to see some completely new facet of reality. Something that
we don't even know we can't even describe what it is, because it's not even in the language that exists.
That's it.
It's like a fucking someone in what's the whole language thing with like the people that have 5 words for snow but no word for rain, or some shit like that.
That's it.
It's just that we don't have it as human, because we don't even know what it feels like.
That's it. And that, I think, that place has been sending through the surface of reality into our consciousness innovations and ideas that are giving us the necessary tools
to get there,
to climb out. Yeah. And so somehow in that process, we have begun to dehumanize or something. We've begun to collectivize, and the collectivization and dehumanization, one of the manifestations of it is A-T and fucking T, man, which is doing 2 things. One, it is, uniting and unifying and collectivizing God knows how many fucking employees all around the planet in this incredible network of numbed down, droning people who are clear. I mean, God help someone who works at AT&T. It's not like you wake up in the morning and you're like, here we go, baby. Gonna head to the call center and take calls. Woo! This is it, man. I've really, when I was a kid and I was in the beach with my mom and I was running at the waves and the waves were crashing against the sand and I was laughing. My little brother was with me and we were laughing, and there was the smell of
a phone.
That's, when you're doing that, you never once were like, God, one day I'm gonna be a manager at a call center dealing with people who have entered into a kind of brand new form of psychosis that has only just existed in human history, which is the psychosis resulting from spending several days at home waiting for a super fast
talking to different people who don't understand what the other person said.
Yeah,
because there's no communication, there's no intercommunication.
No one dreamed of that. No one at AT&T is like, man, this is just exactly where I want to be. You don't come home after a day of working at AT&T and sit down and say to your kids, guys, listen to what happened today. I read the script on the computer screen 700 times. It's the most times I've ever read the script.
And I heard a gunshot today. I heard a man, a nice man named Duncan. He started crying, and then I heard a gunshot, and then there was silence except for the barking of a dog. and then I heard the technician arrive. Maybe you have to do that. Maybe you have to kill yourself or pretend to kill yourself, and then they'll send the technician out.
And it.
Call 911. Tell them the technician hasn't arrived.
I mean, I've tried to explain it to them in different ways. I've been like, you guys, just so you know, in the past, I've had drug dealers that were 7,000 times more efficient than you, $1 billion company.
Right.
Just silence on the other line. So, but
they don't like that shit. When you mention stuff like drugs,
well, they don't. It's like what you were saying about
suicide.
It's what you were saying about the Uber driver.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't like or like it. It's that they have on their screen
outside the programming
a series of they have things that they're supposed to say.
Yeah. It's a freestyle, and
they can't. Yeah, that's and if it's coming off of that those modes of response. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's confusing to them, and they don't know what to do. They don't want to lose their job. So
right.
AT&T is doing two things, or any of these big companies. One, they're harmonizing, dehumanizing, and programming some massive amount of people, their employees, and focusing them on this task of making money, but also of putting technology into people's homes, which is moving us closer to some kind of, like what you're talking about, some kind of new thing. And I have, as you know, been quite excited about this thing until this experience with AT&T.
Like that's all it took.
Oh my God.
So if you think about it, in a way, maybe that's bad because it's sort of like the terrorist of one type thing.
Right.
If the bad experience with AT&T can get you off your thing, then it's like, then they've won, man.
Yeah.
They fucking did it.
Yeah.
It's almost like you failed the test.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
You have to, like, the hardest test is the one that seems like it's not a test.
It's just crazy. And I want you to call them. And
I would love to.
Okay. Why don't we do that now?
Okay.
Huh? Let's make a call to the alien and see what happens. Maybe
you have to you have to give me your information. You have to bleep it out in the post.
Yeah, we'll just you don't even need the information, you'll see. Don't just keep saying operator. They're
going to ask for your name and they ask for your phone number.
Okay, I'll just pause it when that's happening. Okay, here we go. And let's do this.
If
Okay.
you're calling about regulated local exchange telephone service, press 1. For any AT&T sales or service need, press 2.
Right? Sales or service.
Yeah.
Welcome to AT&T. Para español, oprime el ocho.
No.
Fake
Calls
typing.
recorded for quality.
Are you calling about the account associated with the number?
Yes. That's weird. I've never heard that fake typing shit before.
One moment while we pull up your account information. My records show you have a pending service order. Is that what you're calling about?
Yes.
Which would you like to do? Check the status, change the date or time, cancel the order, activate your service, or something else?
I'd like to speak to a representative.
I
don't.
Watch.
I will transfer you, but I do want to make sure your call is sent to the right place. So, which would you like to do? Check the status, change the date or time, cancel the order, activate your service, or something else?
Czekam, Shima.
I'm looking for the best way to route your call.
California.
Good luck with that.
Please wait while we process your request.
This could be interesting.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't find any orders associated with the telephone number you gave me. I can locate orders by order number or telephone number. If you have the order number, say order number. To look up an order based on a telephone number, say telephone number.
Just say representative now.
Representative.
You said you wanted to speak to a representative. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Just a moment while I connect you to someone who can help you check on that. Remember, you can also get help, information, or check your order status at att.com/myatt-app. For quality assurance and verification, your call may be monitored or recorded. If you do not wish to be monitored or recorded, please tell your AT&T representative.
Who wouldn't want to be monitored and
Yeah.
recorded? I'm surprised I even have to ask that.
Did you check the website at all ever?
No.
Okay. I'm just curious. Maybe there's a hidden gem.
Thank you for calling AT&T Technical Support. Your call should be answered within 3 minutes. With the
pretty good.
My AT&T app, you may be able to get your question answered right away. Don't have it? Download the app
I've
now
heard this
from your
so
App
many
Store or
times
access
now.
att.com/myatt.
He just said forward splash.
No, did he?
I think he did.
Or Windows smartphone.
Forward splash.
Forward sp- Is there something like underneath PTSD that's like not quite as bad, but you can get it from this kind of thing?
Probably.
Can you get PTSD from this kind of thing?
No. I think you have to have... Well, I guess you could... Trauma, you could say this is a trauma.
It feels a little bit just like being burnt on the stove or something.
But if that... Ooh. Wow, that was quick.
Hello, good day. Thank you for contacting AT&T. This is Genesis. To whom I owe the pleasure of speaking
Genesis.
today.
Hi, my name is Duncan.
Hi, Duncan. How can I help you this afternoon, sir?
Hi. Well, I just gotta start off tell you I've had a very frustrating last couple of days, and I'm really considering canceling my service because it's just been so difficult. I just moved to a new home, and I'm trying to have the internet installed here. And 3 days ago, the technician was supposed to be here. They didn't arrive within the time window. They didn't even arrive later that day. And the same thing happened the next day. And now it's the third day, and I'm considering canceling the service because they can't seem to communicate with me to install it. And I was wondering if you could help me.
Okay, all right. I see. Well, I completely understand the frustration, Duncan. I would probably feel the same if I'm on your shoes, but I'll be more than happy to assist you with a concern moving forward, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, of course. I just need, though, to ask some questions to pull up your account. Will that be okay?
Okay. What information do you need?
Do you have the account number or the contract number attached to the order? Thank you. All right. Let me just go ahead and pull up the account here real quick.
Okay.
Give me 1 moment, okay?
No problem.
All right. So,
Street.
What's the zip code?
okay, Duncan.
Okay.
And also, as we go on, well, I just want to secure a good mobile telephone number that we may use to reach you via phone or text with information about your AT&T services.
Okay, I just gave it to you.
The same number. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. One more information, though. I just need the 4-digit password. Okay. Thank you so much for that. And by the way, I'm seeing here that you have called in earlier. I'm assuming this is about the same problem.
Yes, like I said, this has been going on for 3 days now. It was supposed to be installed on Thursday morning, and the technician never showed up. They never called to say that they would be late. I called up, and then they said someone put me in touch with the technician. They said they didn't know when they would be arriving. Then I called again to the call center, and they said they would be there later that day. The entire day passed, sun up to sundown. No one arrived. I was forced to stay at home the entire day, even though I have a lot of pressing matters. I had to pay someone to go pick up my children at school because I couldn't make it there. And then the next day, they said that we established a window when the technician would arrive. And they again did not show up during the window. I had to again pay someone to pick up my children at school. I had to pay someone to deliver food to the home because I could not leave because I didn't want to miss the technician during the window. and I've been unwashed this entire time. So again, the technician did not show up during the time that was set up by the company. And I called again, and they said they would be arriving. They again did not arrive. I had to spend more money to have my children picked up at school and to have more food delivered to the home because I could not leave because I was told the technician would be arriving. And now it's today, Saturday. The technician was supposed to be here from 11 to 1. They have not arrived, and no one has called me and communicated any type of lateness whatsoever. And at this point, I have two questions. Who do I send an invoice to pay for the things that I've had to pay for because of the lateness, the tardiness of the technician who's never showed up? And also, do you recommend a different internet provider other than AT&T? Because clearly AT&T is unable to provide service.
Okay. Let's go one by let's do it. Let's go with your questions one by one.
Okay.
Your first question. Just to clarify that, are you asking for a department that can compensate you?
Yes, I would like to be compensated for the time and money I've had to spend because the technicians have not arrived. I've basically been forced to stay home for 2 days straight because they've been stringing me along saying that there's technicians going to arrive and no one shows up at all and no one calls me to inform me they won't be showing up. You have my phone number. You're a telecommunications company and yet no one can communicate with me. It's incredibly frustrating. My family has had AT&T for I don't know how long. Our family's always used AT&T. I love AT&T. It's always worked for me. I have an AT&T, everything. And this is making me feel so disillusioned and losing my complete faith in AT&T as a company. I'm considering selling my stock. I don't know how to rectify this.
Okay, all right, I see. Well,
what I want is the internet to be installed, and I want someone to show up when they say they are. But at this point, if you told me that someone was going to be here in an hour, I wouldn't believe you. Because so far, it's happened 4 times someone was supposed to be here, and not only have they not shown up at all, no one even called to tell me that anything was happening.
okay, all right, I see. Well, I completely, understand how frustrating this is on your part, Duncan, and I won't blame you. If you want, if you will doubt that somebody will arrive today to do the installation. I'm currently checking on your ticket right now here.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pre-assigned to one of the technicians already. However, there are 2 technicians actually involved on your installation. We have the first technician, or the primary technician, is the one who will install the services inside the premise. So he'll be the one to hook up the modem. The second technician here, this is an outside technician. This is like a stay-and-play technician. For example, the inside technician had a problem activating the services, and he needs to check something outside. That's the time that he will seek assistance on the second technician.
Okay, well, I don't know how this matters at all because no one's been here. No one's been to the house at all. So I don't know what you're. Obviously, these technicians need to be replaced. Can you have this service order given to technicians who are able to actually follow up on the call that they're supposed to be on? Because clearly, obviously, you have nothing to do with this whatsoever. But there's something's wrong because something's not happening. There's someone's not getting the message, and as a result, I've been imprisoned in my home, forced to live in my own filth because I'm at the mercy of this company that refuses to uphold their end of the service. If I were to call you up and not pay my bill for 3 months, would you guys keep sending me service? You'd cancel my service. I'm not allowed to not pay. So how is it that the technicians are allowed just to not show up? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, of course. I got your point, Duncan. You made it very clear. And I know you're under the impression right now that we are not keeping our promise.
It's not an impression. It's not an impression. It's a fact.
Well, technically, yes, it's a fact. I must admit. And again, on behalf of AT&T, I really apologize for this inconvenience. I know sorries will not get us nowhere, but actually what's happening is that there is no available outside technician as to why the inside technician is not yet dispatched. We are waiting, for both. We need 2 technicians to be dispatched out there because the premise technician alone, will
understand.
not be able to complete.
Okay, well, how come that was? If that's the case, how come no one told me that? How come they say someone's coming when no one's coming?
Now, that's, I must admit again, that is our shortcoming, Duncan. I understand, somebody should have contacted you at least and let you know what is going on. To be honest with you, when it comes to this matter, it's actually, a business of our dispatch sector. But I'll be more than happy to send the feedback. And if you still would like to do the installation, since you're not getting a feedback from the dispatch team, if you want, I'll be the one to keep you updated from time to time. We're not getting much calls today, so I can monitor your ticket.
This has already happened twice before, where someone would tell me they'd update me, and I haven't received a single incoming call to update me. Here's what needs to happen. There's 2 things that need to happen. 1, this installation needs to be completely free, and I need to be given a credit. It is free. I need to be given a credit for the first month at least. I need. You know what? There needs to be some sort of a credit in place here for this. The second thing that needs to happen is I need to be connected with someone stateside, someone local, someone who is in the area in which I live, so I can communicate with them to get to the bottom of this. Because obviously, you're far away from this whole matter, so it's hard for that to be you to communicate with them. So, is there a way I can be connected with someone from the local branch of whatever this is, so I can?
I could not guarantee. Oh, I'm sorry. I could connect you over to someone from U.S., but there's no guarantee that it will be someone from your area or from your states in California.
Well,
that's as far as I go.
Okay. Well, I just need to be connected to someone who understands what's going on here.
Just ask when they're coming. It's boring. No one wants to hear this anyway. This is a nightmare. I feel like to inflict this on people. It's unholy hell.
Okay. If you want, I'll connect you over to someone from onshore. That's the listing that I can do about your request.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm committed now, though.
Isn't this crazy? This has been going on for this conversation you just had. I've had it at least 7 times. The exact same thing, too. This weird shit about one technician and another technician. But the crazy thing is they keep saying, no, they're going to come. Mm-hmm. They keep saying they're going to come. That's what's weird about it is
by the way, would you mind if I place you on hold for a minute or 2 so I can dial the U.S. Department?
Go for it.
Thank
you.
you.
Whoa!
That's what I've been hearing for fucking...
That fucking sax blast?
Isn't this the craziest thing?
It is.
Because they can't say, hey, we're not going to make it today. They just keep saying, no, it's right around the corner, man. We're going to call you, let you know. It's the most insane thing, man. And the other crazy thing is, I bet that all over LA right now, there's at least 2,000 people stuck in their house, maybe for months.
Months.
Yeah, mentally ill people who just can't let go.
Oh my God! People who can't assert themselves.
Yeah, just in their home, just
Wow.
waiting and waiting.
Prisoners.
That's so fucked up, dude.
Prisoners. Maybe it's some sort of a cabal.
If you forgot your pen, instructions can be found at this website under FAQs.
Fact.
Thank you for being a valued AT&T customer. Data charges may apply.
What I want to say is, when I talk to someone in America, I'm going to say, what should I do? What would you do if you were me?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because right now, I feel like I am insane.
It's true. What I'm doing is I'm just giving up. I'm just gonna like go live my life, and if I miss the appointment, who fucking gives a shit?
I feel like Tina Turner in 1975. This is the 5th time Ike's given me flowers this week.
But where it's really creepy is I'm the one. It's like the monkey. Do you know the stupid thing about how you catch a monkey?
No?
Put a jewel in a hole,
Yeah.
and the monkey grabs the jewel, but
Can't get his hand out because he's grabbing the jewel.
It's that.
Yeah.
It's all goes back to me. I'm the
Yeah.
consumer that's like wanting a fucking T1 line. I could easily just be like, no, I'm just gonna get another internet thing. It's like all. What I think the reason it's so particularly disturbing is that it's my fault.
Yeah.
If I really gave a shit about my life, I would just be like, no.
But it's still their fault because it's something where how come this is don't they want you to have it. It's a premium service. They make money off it.
No one wants anything at AT&T because it's diffused among infinite number of people. The corporation has no intent or will. It's a zombie. It doesn't want a thing. This is just like this thing here. This is just like a number, like that pops up on a stack of probably thousands of sheets. Like it'll say suicide risk.
Yeah.
Suicide risk,
Suicide risk 2.4. Suicide risk 6.5.
Yeah. There's no even if like somehow like putting this on the podcast it got back to AT&T, it doesn't matter. The thing is so massive. It's unstoppable. It's not like and especially it's unstoppable when idiots like me are not cancel, like are just not like, no, I'm not gonna get you as my service. But they've got the fucking fiber, baby.
They're the only ones who have the fiber in the area. They're the only ones with the fiber.
They're the only ones who have the fiber.
Because it's like only one company owns them in one area, right? Is that how it works?
I think so, yeah. And so you're just kind of it's like a drug dealer.
Yeah.
It's like you're a heroin addict and there's one dealer who's got the heroin. And no matter how much you want to assert dominance,
doesn't matter.
It all comes down to the basic essence of capitalism, which is supply and demand, baby. They've got the product. You want it. They're the only ones with the product, and there's nothing you can do about it.
No.
So
except not have it.
Except not have it.
Yeah.
Except not have it. Or just stay at home day after day. Maybe this isn't actually more of an example of like what happens with communism when the state is the only dispenser of items and you're just doomed. Maybe this is like more of an example of what it was like in the Soviet Union when everything was fucking just state run,
right?
And the state provided the genes.
Like, what's that?
Oh God, the sax, dude. My fantasy is that when the installer comes, I'm gonna play that sax music the entire time as loud as I can.
You should also hold him up at gunpoint. You should force him to stay in your house for 3 days. You're staying here, buddy. You're here now. Hope your car's in a good spot because you're not leaving.
Dude, that is a great fucking movie. Like that stupid Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Somebody kidnaps their AT&T guy.
Dude, I keep thinking there needs to be a remake of Falling Down. It definitely does. There's so many times when I feel like that is just it's ripe. It's ripe territory. Nothing's changed. It's the same thing. It's only gotten worse if you think about it in terms of falling down, things to fall down about. So this time it could be like not like some guy wearing with like stodgy old clothes and stuff. It would be like a regular dude who loses his mind. That would be the best because he was kind of like an older generation.
Honestly, this is it. I think we've thought of the movie we've got to write, which is just a guy who's been in his house for 3 days waiting for fucking an AT&T tech, and the guy finally shows up, And he freaks out and captures the AT&T tech.
Yeah.
And then tortures them over the course of a couple of days.
And then it becomes Stockholm Syndrome, where they fucking fall in love.
Or just, like one of those classic Japanese torture porn horror movies where it isn't like, there's no real plot. It's just brutality after brutality.
Right. It's just...
There's no, slicing off the very top layers of his eyeball.
There's no goodness.
There's no goodness at all. And it's just the saxophone just keeps playing and keeps... The guy's like shitting and pissing. Please stop! 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 Mama! Mama! Please stop! Mama! Mama! Please stop! Mama! Mama! Please stop! Mama!
Hello, Duncan.
Yes, this is Duncan.
Hi, Duncan. I apologize for the whole. This is still Genesis, but I have here a call. He's from U.S. Moving forward, he'll be the one to assist you further.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, you're welcome. I'll leave you both now so you can have this issue settled.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Duncan.
Yes.
How you doing?
Well, not the best.
Okay, so he just updated me about what's going on with your account here.
Mm-hmm.
So you have somebody supposed to come out today, and are they supposed to do an installation, I believe?
Yes, I moved into a new house, and there's no internet here, obviously, because it's a new home. And I've been strung along now for 2 days. There was 4 separate appointments someone's supposed to show up at, and no one showed up, and no one has even called me at all, even though multiple times I was told I was going to be called, and it was always on me to call up and wait on hold for... I've probably been on the phone at this point for about 5 hours, literally on the phone for 5 hours. So it's so frustrating here. I honestly don't know what to do because, I mean, you could tell me right now that someone is going to be here in the next hour, and honestly, I wouldn't believe a word you're saying because so far people have canceled. Not even canceled. They just haven't shown up. And no one's even told me that no one's coming. Like, I would understand if they're like, oh, there's been a problem. The technician will be an hour late. Fine. But I've had to do all these things. I've had to pay someone to go pick up my children at school because I was waiting on the person. I've had to spend all this extra money on my own because I've been basically held hostage at home waiting on someone who never shows up. And I guess I just feel at this point, I don't know. What do you think I should do?
Well, I'm gonna say this, like on behalf of AT&T, I'm sorry about what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've been through it myself personally, and it's never a good thing. It's usually tedious. It's a tedious experience to go through.
Well, this is beyond tedious.
So what I'm gonna do is, I can get you over to the loyalty if you want. Like, I don't know, he already gave you the details about them supposed to be coming today.
Yeah, I mean, what details are there? Because they're supposed to have already been here by now, and they're not here. So
yeah, they were supposed to come today between. Well, it says 1 p.m. here.
Yep.
So yeah, they should definitely be there now.
No, they won't. But they won't be. You know that.
It could be a little late, but I really hope they do actually show up and not reschedule on you again because that's not good. But yeah, they're supposed to be out today. I could also get you over to loyalty as well.
What is that?
If you're feeling, basically, our loyalty department, they can give you any. They can basically, if you're having a problem with the services that we're, you know what I mean, and you're having any issues with what's happening, you can tell it to them. They'll give you promotions and whatever they can to, you know what I mean, try to satisfy you as a customer after what you're going through. You know. So I mean, I can get you over to them, and they could, because only thing I can do is I can just give you the information that we have on files for when they're coming out.
What does it say?
Or I can change that. It says they're coming. It says everything's still pending.
Okay.
Everything's still pending right now. So it looks like they never rescheduled anything. Everything looks like it's going to happen today.
But that's the thing is this has already happened 4 times where they've not rescheduled it either, and I've called up and they said they're coming, and it's just like what's happening right now is the same thing that's happened to me with 4 other people I've talked to. So I guess I just don't understand how. Obviously, you're a different person than who I talk to, but I can't think you're seeing anything in front of you that's any different than the 4 other people I've talked to previously. And
I can guarantee you that's probably, you're absolutely correct on that, because I'm pretty much seeing the exact same thing
right.
they've seen, and they probably already told you, and you're just like, yeah, I've heard it before.
Are you even seeing, do you even have a record of me calling and this happening? Like, is it showing
Yeah,
like...
we have a record.
Okay, so I'm not like crazy in saying that this is keeps happening and nothing's changing, nothing's going forward. So
we have a record on here.
Okay.
And, like I said, I'm sorry on behalf of AT&T that you're going through this.
yeah.
Like I said, it's not the best deal to go through, and it's very frustrating.
Well, I guess
like I said, I can get you over to loyalty if you do want them to like you see if they can offer you anything special.
Yes,
for the
please.
Situation that you're going through, you know what I mean?
That's fine. I guess that's all we can do right now.
And then like I said, everything's still pending. It looks like they're still going to come out today as well. Okay.
Okay. What do I do? What do I do if they don't?
If they don't come out,
Yeah.
usually they will let. They're supposed to let you know on the number that you
I know. They're supposed to show up for one, and they're supposed to let you know, and they haven't done either of those things.
That's
So
not a good thing at all.
No.
They're definitely supposed to let you know what's going on.
I guess
They
it's...
might be busy in the area, but at the same time, that's just on the technician, I guess, itself that's supposed to come out there. They're supposed to let you know, though.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like maybe
What's going on?
these technicians should be fired.
There's some people that just, you just don't know what they're up to. They could be
Taking massive
their
dumps.
time. They could be actually bogged down with current jobs that they're on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes they get bogged down pretty hard.
You know what I have to say about that? Life is a problem.
Right.
I'll be connected to loyalty, please. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. And again, thank you for calling AT&T. My name is Kyle. I'm gonna get you to loyalty, and just bear with me.
Thanks, Kyle.
No problem.
Can you believe it? It's the craziest fucking thing.
How much free internet do you want?
They already gave me a month.
You need 3, maybe 5.
5,000. I just want the fucking internet.
I know you do. That's the big irony of customer service is that all you want is the thing that you want.
The funny thing is, this isn't maybe a new job. Is like somebody who like negotiates with massive soulless corporations for you when you're getting fisted by.
I love it
the fucking apocalypse.
because it's like I don't have to deal with it because it's not me, so I can like look at it from a different, almost like a puzzle.
I can't do it. Like I'm like in Game of Thrones. I'm like, if you wait, you don't watch that, do you?
I love it. Yeah.
I'm like Reek at this point.
You like Reek?
My lip starts trembling, and I just shake. I don't know what to do. I'm like, again, because what this means is like they're inviting me to stay at my house for another day.
Yeah.
Which I can't do that. I mean, there's so many things. I just want to go for a walk.
Right.
Get outside. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, I can't wait to drop this all on them.
But you can't even go for a walk.
I can't even go outside.
You can't go outside.
I'm developing rheumatism. I've got fucking pneumonia.
I just want to go outside, man. That's all. I just want to go outside. I want to like walk the dogs, get some exercise. I want to go get shelving. I want to, but the thing is I'm listening to myself talk. I'm thinking, oh, this is the sound of the apocalypse. It's the hymn of, it's like, this is the sound of like how it used to be that you wouldn't fucking be worried about a T1 line. You'd be up to your fucking knees in some stream.
Manure.
You'd be up to your knees.
That'd be great though. Manure's clean, good, fresh manure.
Yeah, you'd be up to your fucking knees in manure, just
shoveling,
grinning ear to ear and shoveling.
The kids are out there playing on manure too.
No sax playing. It's a good idea for a serial killer movie, though. Someone who plays that shit, like you know you're about to get murdered when you hear that sax start playing.
Oh, shit. Oh, yes, hello.
Hi, yeah, we've got them on the other end here. We're on queue right now, on hold. So just bear with me while I get them on.
Okay, great.
The lady I talked to yesterday, I was like, hey, do you know who decided to play that sax music?
Oh.
And she's like, no. And that's the other weird thing is somebody made the decision.
Yeah.
Someone was like previewing different loops of music, and I'm like, no, let's use that fucking sax.
They have all these new things now where they can... This is even old stuff. Years ago, we used to have... The computer has things that can tell the tone of your voice.
Yeah.
So if you come at them hot, even in the interactive computer menu, you get routed to a different place.
Yeah.
So that's why I always, with the computer menu, I'm always very calm. Like, yes. Because then you get if you come in hot,
Right,
they know you're like...
They'll send you to the loony area.
They won't service you because they know it's like, it's that whole thing, you know how you can't do something when you're angry, like you can't.
Yeah.
So they know
That's
that. They
so
have all these
creepy.
fucking psychologists.
How
who
long
work
have we
for
been
them.
on hold?
33 minutes.
Okay, so this is hour 6 with AT&T now.
Hour 6 logged. The AT&T Chronicles.
Audience, you guys, I'm sorry to put you through this, those of you who are still listening. I mean, you're just tasting a little bit of the bitter river I've been drinking
The
from.
Bitter River. That'd be a cool name for a podcast or just something. The Bitter River.
Wormwood, man. I just want to stream but once I get that sweet T1, get some fucking cameras set up. I'll be able to stream in like 4K, I think. I don't know what the upload speed. I don't know what the upload speeds are though.
Well, here's where your upload speed's probably going to be. It's probably going to be 5. That's what they get you, man.
It'll be 5 Mbps upload.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Dude, we don't want you... Oh, hi, sir. What are you doing with that much uploading? Typically, we'd only have like a content distribution platform using that. All of our customers are very happy with the download because they're just consuming media. Are you sending media out? Are you propagating media?
Hang on, I gotta piss. I'll be right back.
We have a second tier for if you're actually a media provider, sir, and that's a different rate altogether. John Coltrane with The Bad Blues. Living my life inside my house. Come on down to the hot spot, David Do. Bickety Bob, bubbly boo, motherfucker. Dying inside my own life. Are you ready to find out what it's like to go through portal number 6?
Are you enjoying getting your soul?
Holy shit.
Are you enjoying getting your soul extracted?
Portal number 6 provides all illusion of entertainment and release of pain. Open portal number 6 for 400 credits. You can too enjoy portal number 6.
Your soul is the reason you've been suffering. By extracting your soul, you will experience no emotions for the next 2 billion incarnations.
For 5,000 extra credits, you can enter portal number 5. With full-on saxophone blasts from a 365-degree circular radius. You too... Hello?
Hi, Duncan.
Yes.
Are you there?
I'm here. Duncan's here.
I got this on the line here.
Okay. I mean, this is...
Can I help? This is the AT&T loyalty department, and she's going to help you. She's going to give you some more answers on what you were talking about as far as what we can do for you.
Okay.
About these missed schedules. Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
You have yourself a great day, Duncan, and thank you for calling AT&T.
Thanks,
My
Kyle.
name's Kyle again, and thank you again.
Peace.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hi, yes, this is Melissa with AT&T.
Hi, Melissa.
And I do also want to apologize for the trouble with the delay with the service. I know how much of a huge inconvenience that is, Duncan, and I would certainly be frustrated as well. They let me know that you were looking for some type of compensation for the delay, and I'll be more than happy to see what we can do, because this is certainly not the experience that we want you to have as a new AT&T services.
That's correct. It's the only number I have.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I know Kyle, he said that he reviewed over the status of the service, that there was a delay. And, I know we'll still be follow-ups there for you. And then besides wanting to see what else we can do to compensate for the delay, were there any other questions on this account or any other AT&T services that you have that you need help with?
I mean, really, for me, it's just a thing of I honestly don't know what to do, because I've had to spend all this money because I've basically been sort of kept captive in my home for the past 3 days, because I've been waiting, and I've been told multiple times, 4 times at this point, that they were on their way, literally, and not a soul has showed up, and not a single person has ever called me, even though they have my number. So it's this thing where I just have constantly, I've been on the phone, I think I've counted now for 6 hours now. So that's the time on the phone. So I mean, it's just something where I don't know. Like right now, they're supposed to have been here by now, and it's past the time I'm supposed to be here. I have no hope whatsoever that anyone will show up at this house today. So obviously, I would love to have not have to pay for this service for 4 or 5 months, but at the same time, in order to not pay for the service, I have to have the service, and I don't even have it. So it's like this idea of you giving me credits for something that doesn't exist. That's why it's like an existential nightmare here. I don't even know what to ask of you. Obviously, you're a wonderful person, and I'm sure you have literally nothing to do with what's going on here. I'm just sort of at my wit's end, because it's like, how many times do I let myself be abused before I walk away? And I feel like at this point, it's just, I don't know if it's worth it to get this service, if it's somehow like it just keeps going on. I'm in the 5th circle of hell here. And I'm paying for it. I'm literally paying to be abused.
With the order, the different changes where a date's put in and that doesn't work. The order, it looks like there was initially a farther out date, not until 2036, which normally means that there's some type of facility errors that are there. But this last appointment, I can tell that was...
What is that 2036? What is that? What does that have to reference to? That's like, we'll all be dead by then.
Putting the order on hold. I can see that it was put on hold a couple times. And so our version of hold is changing the due date to December 31st, 2036, meaning it's on hold.
Is that when the apocalypse is supposed to be?
I'm sorry?
What is that date? Is that an arbitrary date?
It's a random date that our system automatically does when the order's on hold due to facility issues, and we have to get that fixed.
It sounds like your system knows something that we don't. Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, that's not the date that's showing here today. It shows that your due date was supposed to be today.
Okay.
But I just wanted to point out that I can see that your service order, it was on hold a few times, and it looks like we were under the impression that it was fixed, and there was a due date put in, the 18th and the 19th, I see, and now 20th. So again, I sincerely apologize, but I can clearly see from what you've mentioned and the technician that you've certainly been through a lot with the changes here. I'm just getting this order pulled up here.
Are you saying that all life on Earth will end December 31st, 2036?
No, of course not. That's just something random that the I'm sure that the system has picked just a date plucked out of the air that's far enough in advance. It's our version of putting your order on hold. Is
Oh,
what that
okay.
means.
Yeah, just a round number. Just it's nothing. Just a round number. Yeah.
That's random.
Just random.
Now, let me look this up here.
Circling that in the calendar. Circle December 31st, 2036. Better get your shit done.
Is that what? Maybe they know when we're gonna die.
That's it.
Maybe it's my personal.
Service, I'm showing that this is for the internet alone. Did you have any other AT&T services, though?
Nope. That'll do me.
Okay.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still
Okay,
here.
got it.
The information to come up fully. At first glance, I could tell that the installation, I know that was already waived on one of the previous numbers here.
Okay.
Sorry for the delay, just waiting for this order to come up.
It's okay. I'm building a fire.
Okay. Right.
We've got brisk weather here.
Imagine.
You know what they say? Wind is a brisk business.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what they say.
California myself, just farther up north.
Oh,
and
cool.
It's pretty brisk up here.
Yeah. Wind is a brisk business.
Ask, am I supposed to just wait here for the rest of the day for them?
I think this shit's loading. They all have such shit computers. So you trying to get the information here, or I'm just curious?
Yeah, I'm just checking to see what else we can do with the service here.
Okay. Do you know? Should I continue to wait today? Because the window has passed.
Yeah, the window is past. The appointment is still. It's still here. It hasn't. Hold on, let me just check one other system. I was looking to see what other options with the service here, and I know the technician said that he already checked for today's time, but I'll just check the window and see.
What does that mean, the technician already checked?
If it's still being expedited or not.
I think it means I put her on mute.
Come late since you haven't gotten a call yet.
I think it means that they.
Tell her they haven't ever called.
Well, they haven't ever called, actually.
I wonder if we've been pushing in these dates without tech support's knowledge.
Something's amuck. I think maybe the computer is trying to destroy humankind, or some of these technicians have a severe drug problem. Or there's something in their life that maybe someone's had an accident and they don't want to report it, or just some sort of something foul.
Well, I've checked the tech notes here, and yeah, it says that this is assigned to a technician. I'm going to see if I can message the technician at all, see if I'm able to reach him. They're stuck on another job, or what's going on.
I mean, I've been through all this before. This is just, we're in a cycle now, I think. This is just my life now, it seems like.
The previous technician who you spoke to, did he also try and reach the technician?
Never spoke to anyone. I spoke to someone the first day, and that person was completely not helpful. They acted like I was a lunatic for asking them and how I'd been connected with them, and the fact that they couldn't even give me a time when they would be here. I was like, well, can you at least tell me when you're going to show up or something? And they're like, we don't know. Which is, I don't know how you don't even at least offer to reschedule. Like, hey, maybe we can come a different day. But that wasn't even presented as an option. I honestly feel like we're in like some sort of a weird dictatorial regime that's about to fail, like a failed state.
That shouldn't be the case. If the appointment is missed, then we should negotiate having a new date in. And if that wasn't done, then again, I sincerely apologize. With these different previous changes, I was under the impression that was done before. Let me just finish checking here.
Isn't this the strangest thing? It's the strangest thing, dude.
What's being checked? I don't get that. I'm on mute right now.
It's the weirdest thing. This has been going. This could theoretically go on infinitely.
Mm-hmm.
How long have we been talking AT&T?
48 minutes.
So this is like a double pod. This is just a 2-part podcast. One part, our conversation. The second part, the most boring phone call. Those of you who are still listening, you guys are fucking incredible. I don't think I'm going to edit any of this either.
I think it's pretty good though. It's got a nice up and down and out. We're weaving.
I want people to experience the horror.
Mm-hmm.
This is what horror looks like.
We're still what is she checking?
I don't know.
I'm gonna ask. Hi, just checking in. How's it going?
For me?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not hearing anything. What's being checked right now?
Check the notes. Yeah, I'm sorry about the delay. I'm just checking on the notes here to see, since you were asking about the appointment, and you said you hadn't heard anything about the previous missed appointment.
Right.
So I'll check to checking on that. Since the tech site that we're able to check, it still has the same appointment for today, and it says it's assigned to someone. Which normally, if that's the case, that means someone should be on their way.
Mm-hmm.
But
like I said,
past the appointment time.
Right, but this is the fourth. This is now. No one's here, and this is the third day, and this is the fifth appointment now that's been missed. So, and also I've been on the phone now for about 7 hours. It's I've been on the phone just now for the past 50 minutes, so it's almost 1 hour, and literally nothing has changed whatsoever.
No, and I'm sorry, because the technician who connected you over. I was under the impression that he already went over what was happening with the appointment, that there is a delay, that he was connecting you here to see if there's something else that we can do for compensation of the appointment being missed.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, so as far as that was the first thing I was checking before you were asking me about the date and not being notified. So that's why I kind of veered off into a different direction.
Okay.
So for the initial portion of the call, I can see here that with the service itself, it already shows with the waiver of the install, so that's taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I see that your cost is discounted. It's normally $10 more, and we did get an extra discount off of the base rate of the service, being that it's internet alone.
You mean taking off the monthly charge, or what?
Discounted off of the monthly charge.
So for how long?
It's for a year. So this internet alone, it's normally $90 for the 1,000 meg,
mm-hmm.
and with the extra 10, that's changing it to $90. And then the install, it's normally $99, and that we waived on previous calls due to the trouble.
I think it needs to be less a month.
Yeah, there's hold on, let me just double check here. Normally the cost is less when it's combined with another service.
Ask if I'm supposed to wait
this so far.
I think it should be whatever that cost is then.
Yeah, it's a difference of $10. The extra discount that we can get to get it down to $70 is only when it's bundled. Your cost is normally the one.
Can you just make it $70 as though it were bundled then?
Yeah, I can't make it $70, but what I would recommend is once the service does start,
mm-hmm.
then we can see what we can do about maybe getting a month credit in for you, and I'll make a note here.
I've already been given a month credit.
There's no credit yet because your service hasn't started yet. But if
Okay.
you've already been offered to have 1 month's credit in addition to this $10 off and in addition to the $99 for the install, then it looks like those are the three things that we normally do.
Okay, well, That's what you normally do, but I normally don't have to wait 3 days.
No, I do understand. There's just nothing else that I can put on the service. Like you mentioned earlier, is a service that hasn't started yet.
Right.
So that's why what I would recommend is once the service actually comes on and is starting to work and your bill comes out, then of course we'll be able to go from there. But as far as extra discounts as if it's bundled, that's something that no one can change unless it's actually combined billed with something else. You have to have another AT&T service, any like the cell phone or
right,
television.
But we're just talking about numbers here. You can actually do anything you want. That's just sort of something that's an arbitrary construct. I mean, it's not like, well, it's literally it literally is true.
Ask if I should wait for the rest.
Here's my question: should I wait for the rest of the day now, or what? I mean, I just don't know how to go on living, like what to choose to do, because at this point, I've spent hundreds of dollars for services to compensate for my inability to leave my home. So I'm just sort of I'm at this point now where I feel like I'm Sisyphus, except it's with delivery.
I will check here and see what other date we have so that you don't have to stick around there the rest of the day.
Come, but that date they
I
won't.
did message
What
the
difference does it
technician,
make?
but I didn't hear back from him.
I think this technician is AWOL.
Just say if
That's
they create
very
another
possible.
date. If they create
He's
another
not,
date,
on
it's going
the
to happen
system
on
where I
that
can
date.
see, usually we can tell if representatives are in. In this case, since it's a technician, it may be a little different, but I just have a capability where I can do an instant message and I'm not hearing back.
Can you give me
So
the
when
technician's phone number, name? So
I don't have a phone number for him, but the technician that's assigned, I can see his first name is Jesse. I can tell that.
Where does Jesse
There's
live?
No phone number that I have. I'm sorry?
Does Jesse have like a way I can contact him? Does he have an address or a P.O. box or something?
No, there's nothing like that. In our system, there's a link up to the order where I can send a sort of instant message to the technician.
Oh.
I was hoping that through tech support, and again, I don't know all of what you went over because it sounds like I was given half information, and I'm so sorry. I thought maybe the previous technician did the checks to try and communicate with this technician to see what's going on, since he's still assigned to it.
Yeah.
But if that hasn't happened, then we can do one of two things. I can recheck and see what the next available due date is here, and we can try again and change this. I'm just afraid that with what's happened with the address, if I make a change here, I just don't want another missed appointment. So,
but the missed appointment's already happened. Like I just don't.
No, I understand.
Right.
I don't want to put another date in that may not
They
work.
just want me to stay at home.
We can certainly get tech support involved and see what it can be expedited to, and go from there.
Is there someone I can speak with who has like a general overarching understanding of everything to the point where they can like have some sort of actionable intelligence with the agent in the field, to where they can communicate actual information, not just speculation in terms of what's going to happen? Because anytime I've ever done this before, I've been able to, they connect me with the technician. The technician has my phone number, and we talk on the phone. And the technician calls, "Hey, I'm going to be there in 15 minutes. Hey, I'm here." And I talk to him, or even an hour before. Anything where I communicate with the technician, because they're the ones doing the work, to the point where we can use what people do is they communicate, and we figure it out, and everything's fine. Because right now I'm being run through a series of different phone numbers, and I've spoken to 3 people today alone, and it's just this thing where there seems to be no one knows what's going on. It's like the hand doesn't know what the head doesn't know what the hand is doing, and I'm a prisoner in my home.
Let me ask you this, Duncan. What did the previous technician advise you of this appointment before he connected you to me?
He said, well, it was before 1 o'clock at that point, so he still had hope that someone would show up. But now it's oh my God, it's 20 minutes past 1. So obviously he was thinking that maybe someone might still show up. because it was still within the window. But now we're past the window now.
Yeah, no, I understand. And that was certainly a possibility, unless, of course, something has happened to the technician, which I hope is nothing serious.
Well, at this point, I kind of hope something serious does happen. Like maybe he goes to a meeting or connects with a loved one and sees things clearly or something, some sort of maybe a breakthrough or like an epiphany of sorts. Because something's happening in that van, and it's not moving.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Maybe he's being held hostage.
Anything is possible, but let me do this.
Anything's possible except getting that bundle rate without the bundle.
That is certainly out of my range. And as far as the cost, that's why I advise bill-wise. We would have to wait until the starts.
Wait until it starts. Okay.
We'll make a change there to see if there's some other way to help compensate offsetting for that difference.
Yeah, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I'm sorry again, Duncan. I know that you're frustrated, and I wish I was a technician and I can fix this for you.
Me too.
Away. I'm just trying to help here. So if you don't mind holding, I can give a call back to tech support and see if I can get a hold of someone who is able to reach out or find out what's happened to this previous technician if someone else is in his place.
Can I ask one thing? Can someone call me on my phone? Because I've been on hold here for so long now.
We'll hold.
Okay.
Otherwise they won't call.
I understand, and I know that you've been on hold and you're wanting this taken care of right away. So being honest, if you do need to drop the line and go, because I don't blame you, I could set this for a follow-up. Just the follow-ups usually take 1 to 2 days.
Okay, I'll hold.
Okay, I'm just being honest.
Okay,
So
I know.
If you don't mind holding, I will go ahead and call and see if I can get someone and get an answer for you right away.
Okay.
Okay? And if so, then I'll be able to connect you to them to get that taken care of.
Got it. I'm ready to hold.
And if anything happens here during our call, you'll speak by phone or text. Awesome. 1 moment, please. All right now.
Isn't this wild?
I gotta piss.
Okay.
What insanity?
This is the future, dude. This is it's the craziest thing.
The oldest telecommunications company.
Yeah.
I think there's some shit that because they're so old that there's like these weird legacy kind of like baffles. There's like weird old things that have in place that have to do with old operator, something that Time Warner.
Muted.
Yeah, it's muted. Something that doesn't happen anymore, like with Time Warner, because they're like a cable company. I just think that's what it is. I think it's some weird shit where they.
It's just. I think it's just It's a massive corporation with 1 million departments, and it's. This woman doesn't really understand what's happening, and the people in tech support don't know what's happening, and no one really understands. Like, there's no way to like. There's no
cohesion.
No, and there's not a person. This is what's amazing, because it's this dystopian bureaucracy essentially that is like amazing in the sense that it's literally it could drive a person insane. Like this is the kind of thing that like you could have a heart attack. You could like just eventually just go nuts, because you can hear it's like something. It's Joseph Heller. It's like you can hear like, okay, we can do something, but it might take 2 days for that thing. You know, or we can do this thing, but she's going to come back having spoken to someone who's going to say either something about the outside line and 2 technicians coming, but it'll always just be more confusion.
More vagary.
And it'll also, what's really funny is no one for the past 3 days has been able to get in touch with the technicians.
So she's getting the account right now.
Got it.
Continue to both texting the account.
Great.
Thank you so much.
So now they have a specialist, which I've gotten to a specialist
You
level.
have?
This is like a video game. I have gotten
specialist.
I've gotten to specialist level a couple of times. The specialist, essentially what it comes down to is you need to call the tech person.
Yeah.
But my theory is that the tech person is in a backyard slowly being eaten by pit bulls. That's my theory, is that for a couple of days, and or maybe the technician has been kidnapped, and he's praying. He's like, please God, please God, please God, someone's got to just know I'm not answering the phone.
Yeah.
I'm not showing up. Okay. So, and we might be saving a life right now.
It might be.
Like, because I picture this guy.
God, I can't believe this.
Oh, I know.
I just can't believe how long. It's like a thing. It's just incredible. Listen to music, at least. This is good stuff.
It's
this
new.
Is some good jazz.
Yeah, well, we've gotten into
next level.
We've gotten into an upper level.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're in jazz 2 now. This is distinctively less annoying. This is almost like a Pink Panther type thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's
hey, baby, it's going to be cool.
Well, no, it's like a mystery, because the technicians, like, one thing we know, the technician Jesse, he's got a phone, right? Like and all you need is Jesse's phone number, and theoretically Jesse is like, they know an address he's working at.
Yeah.
You know, and so you fantasize in your head, you start coming up with these weird fantasies, like, I'm going to find the tech support center, and I'm going to drive to the fucking tech support center and just
burn it down,
shit in my hand, and just smash it in the face of the first person I see. Your brain produces all these really awful things because nobody likes to be trapped.
No.
But again, it's like, all you got to do is just cancel the service. I mean, the reality is that this corporation has a thing that we want. And there's nothing you can do to punish them at all.
No, you can't. Even Tom Hodgkinson used to talk about that shit, about how, like, you know how, like, any company that you get service from.
Thank you again for your patience and waiting, Duncan. The technician is still checking on the service, and she's also trying to call the technician who was scheduled on this order.
Jesse. We're talking about Jesse here.
No, checking back.
Okay.
Sorry?
We're talking about Jesse.
Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep missing the last thing you're saying.
Oh, I'm saying the technician is Jesse.
Oh, yes, Jesse. That's
Yeah. I just like to call people by name, just to put a face on it.
Okay, I'll see if she can give out the number. I don't know if that will be possible, but I will ask.
I mean, it's possible.
Yes, I will definitely ask.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So this is like, when you think about it, man, like, I could have just not called and just sort of gone about my life.
Yeah.
And it would have made no difference because they're not coming.
Right.
I could have disregarded that the appointment means anything. But somewhere in here, it does start entering into this existentialist.
Well, you're priced in. You spent so much time
dealing
with this.
I'm clamped in deep.
Yeah.
So yeah, my life has now become.
You're invested.
I'm essentially manacled to a corporate entity. Like it's this kind of technological tornado that has sucked.
It's a codependent relationship.
Yeah, and I've been pulled into it with this collective of people who are equally confused. Like, this woman doesn't really know what's happening. Whoever she's talking to probably doesn't really know much of what's happening. And every individual at AT&T, probably all the way to the very top, the dude who has a triangle head with a fucking eyeball in the center of his forehead. Eventually, as you get up to the upper levels of AT&T, the language shifts. I bet the higher up you get,
it's just fax tones.
In between, there is a level of, like, pyramid headmen. You're just like, yeah, and eventually when it reaches some point where at the very top of AT&T, there's just a spinning ball of glowing black light. Wow.
It's a black hole.
Yeah. Meanwhile, fucking Jesse's femur is getting gnawed on by a fucking dog. Or he's like...
I think Jesse's probably smoking some meth.
I think Jesse doesn't know he's a technician. I think
Yeah,
it's
that's
really
right.
funny.
Yeah, he's a mindless automaton
Yeah.
who is doing stuff. He's unaware. He's like a zombie. He's like he's like someone on Ambien.
Yeah.
They just are unaware that they're moving.
Yeah, he doesn't know. Jesse probably surfing somewhere.
Jesse.
He doesn't know what's happening. He's just like
Yeah, he's like plugged into the Matrix.
Yeah.
And his body's doing stuff.
Yeah, he just doesn't know.
Yeah, he's unaware of it because he's being pacified by some sort of a grand vision.
I don't think there is a Jesse. I think Jesse is like
It's probably an acronym.
or an ancient god or something.
An ancient god.
Jesse is like the name of some Illuminati low-level demiurge or something, or not demiurge, a demigod that they worship. You know, Jesse, what's Jesse doing? We can't get in touch with Jesse. You need the blessings of Jesse to achieve
The blessings of Jesse.
Yeah, yeah, and we can't get it.
Do you remember that a Star Trek movie where they had the Nexus? It's this big, like, crazy nebula that goes through space. When you're inside of it, you're basically in heaven. And, like, Picard and I think Kirk are both in it. And they have to realize, there's one point where they're in there, they're out chopping wood on this farm they live on, and everything's so great. And they're like, oh, shit, we're in the Nexus right now. They're like in perfect happiness, but they realize, oh, we're trapped inside this prison.
Wow.
But we have to break out of it. But to break out of it, they have to deny this sort of heaven, this perfect cyclical heaven that they live in.
How did they figure out they were in the Nexus?
Because it was too good to be true.
Did they try to get AT&T installed?
Yeah, I think well, they had AT&T installed, and they knew, like, wait a second, this T1 line has been installed. This isn't right. It's like that thing, all those movies about dreams where there's a signifier to allow you to know your reality. It's the spinning top and what's it called? Inception. It's any of that shit. It's all like what's your signifier to know that you're in. So right now I know that we're in the real world because this is happening.
Right, because you would know something's fucked up if AT&T was like, yeah, we're going to be there between 11 and 1. And
Yeah. Just a drum break.
I thought.
That's probably just some sort of. It's literally probably a sound design to cause you to stay alert.
Meanwhile, you know, I have friends who
reggae.
I have friends who live in a van in Kauai.
Yeah.
Who are just like walking in the sand right now, eating delicious Hawaiian tacos, sunbathing in the sand, not thinking about a T1 connection.
Maybe listening to this music though.
No.
This is a beach jam, Duncan.
This music is, I guarantee this, I bet this music isn't being generated from technology. I bet that they have a laboratory chimpanzee that they've figured out a way to turn its fear into
music. The electrodes power this. Oh God! That's chimp fear number 2.
That's Jesse.
Jesse
is the chimp.
Is the chimp.
I'm still working with the technician, and just to confirm, the specialist she's speaking with the Uber's dispatch center, and evidently your order, it's been assigned to a different technician. The system I'm looking at is still showing the original person, but she's saying that as of a minute ago, she said 2 minutes prior, another technician has picked it up. So I'm just trying to get confirmation from her of where I can get that information confirmed to make sure someone's still coming out.
What's the technician's name, the new one?
That I don't know. That's why I'm trying to get confirmation from her, because I'm still seeing the previous person's name. It's still not showing the person. So just continue to hold, and I'm going to keep checking back until I get those answers for you, okay?
Okay.
Thanks so much for your patience.
Got it.
Yes.
I don't know. I was just thinking maybe having a barbecue. How far north of California do you live?
I'm actually in Rohnert Park, about 45 miles north of San Francisco.
Oh, that's a nice area. That's really pretty up there. Yeah.
Lots of farmland.
Oh, yeah. You gotta love a good farm. Cleans the air.
Yeah. Also super cold.
Yeah.
And, give me 1 moment. Let me make sure it doesn't come back and hang up on me. I definitely don't want that.
Okay, someone's calling me right now from Gardena.
Let me see it.
Okay.
Right.
Hi, this is Jesse with AT&T.
Holy shit! Hey, what's up, Jesse? How's it going, man?
Hey, I'm right now. I'm about to head out that way. I should be there like in maybe 30 minutes. I'm kind of far, like in West Hollywood.
You're definitely coming, though, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
way.
How's your day going?
It's been all right so far.
Have you dealt with any, like, pit bulls or kidnappers or anything?
Not yet.
Cool, man. That,
Yeah.
great, dude. I really can't wait to see you, Jesse. I'm excited to meet you, man.
Yeah, Jesse, you can.
You're at a.
That's right, baby.
All right.
So,
All right, I'll be there soon.
so Jesse, you'll definitely be here.
Yeah, I'm
me
about
call
to
you
start
when he
driving
gets
out
here.
there.
Will you call me when you're outside?
Because it's hard to find.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great, man. Thanks.
All right.
It's hard to find.
Just call when you're outside, Jesse. Hello?
Can you switch back? Oh, we're back on hold. Holy fucking shit! You know what did it? I'll tell you what did it.
What?
Is when I asked her about.
Hang on, let me. What do you think did it, man?
I think it's when I asked her where she lived, and she told me she wasn't lying. She told me where she lives, where she works.
And that activated Jesse?
I think it injected some sort of reality into the equation that activated Jesse as a sleeper cell. It's some sort of thing where, like, okay, so Melissa has been asked a personal question. She answered it personally because I was about to invite her to our barbecue we were going to have.
Wow.
Our internet barbecue, because obviously I know Melissa better than most people in my life at this point. So I was about to invite Melissa to a barbecue. She lives kind of far north of San Francisco, so she'd have to drive about 6 hours to get here. But, you know,
This is wild,
I
dude.
tied her in, and so she hit that panic button that
Yeah.
activates Jesse.
Jesse! Awaken Jesse!
Awaken Jesse!
Awaken Jesse from the stasis chamber! He's in West Hollywood. They had to de-thaw him. That's why it took so long.
Yeah, he's in West Hollywood. I'm sure he's in West Hollywood. He's probably in some fucking deep underground chamber. He comes up in this special tube, gets like shot through the sewers.
What's amazing is how happy Jesse sounds.
Yeah.
Jesse's like
He's a savior.
he's filled with joy, but he's like somebody was just, I didn't see the Chappelle special, but somebody was telling me there's something called that pimps do. Have you ever heard of this thing called a pimp bath or something?
Yeah, I watched the special. He talks about basically, how you you trick someone into
You beat someone.
yeah,
And then you give them a bath after beating them.
because it confuses them.
And they're like, feel like you're their savior as you're like washing them
Right.
off.
It's I'm here. I just talked to Jesse.
Oh, he did. He called.
He called me and we spoke. He said he's going to be here in a half an hour. He's in West Hollywood, which is not where I live, and he's going to half an hour away. And we talked. He sounds like everything's okay. I asked him if he's been injured. He said he hasn't been. And he's got my number, and he's going to call when he gets here.
Great. I'm so glad to hear that. Then if he is calling, then hopefully since the other person has mentioned about it being connected to someone else, they still couldn't tell me the name. So if Jesse's still going to be able to come, great. Maybe he got my message because my first message when you came on, I let him know, are you heading to the next job? And gave your account number, but he didn't respond to me. So I'm glad that he did call you.
That's great. Well, maybe they'll both show up.
Yeah. So as long as at least one of them shows up and gets your service in, that's great. And I do want to sincerely apologize again for the delay and your patience while we've been on the phone. I just wanted to make sure at least that your needs were taken care of. Did you have the direct number already for our tech support if you do need to make any other calls?
Have
you registered for my AT&T app?
I don't think I have the number yet, no.
I will give you the number, and if you have a smartphone, then I would definitely recommend that
Getting the
you
app.
Do our app as well, because that's actually the quickest way to save time, and you can check order status and pending appointments as well.
Cool.
The phone number, that is, you ready with a pen and paper?
Yes.
1-877 353 5972. And then the website, it's just att.com.
Got it.
/ my AT app.
Got it.
To download our app.
Okay.
All right. Once you register for that, then you can check your order status, take appointments, everything. And once your service starts, you can do other things as well.
Cool.
Pay your bills, payments, change service.
Have a
whatever you'd
barbecue?
like.
Can I invite AT&T people to come to my barbecue?
And look up barbecue information.
Great. Thanks, Melissa.
We'll be all set here. And now, did you have any other questions for me?
Yeah. Well, I guess a couple. Do you like to barbecue at all?
I don't actually do the barbecuing. I would in my hairy Popil the rotisserie if I can barbecue in that, but
Oh, wow.
That too. My husband, he likes to barbecue, so yeah, stay away from all the smoke.
My friend, my partner Jorgensen has a question for you.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, I just want to know if you have any suggestion on how we can make ourselves feel better after having lost 2 days of our lives waiting for AT&T to come, because we feel so sad now.
I understand, and I sincerely apologize again for the frustration here that you both have experienced. I know that this is not the norm for AT&T, being that I've been here 19 years. It's just not a normal thing.
It feels like I've been waiting for 19 years.
Well, Jorgensen.
No, and I apologize again. I've reviewed with Duncan the other things that we've done already on the account due to the delay, and it was due to the initial system errors that were there that we had to update. But it looks like that's all done.
May I ask? I'm sorry to cut you off. May I ask you a question?
Okay.
Thank you. Do you ever think that you might be a node in a superorganism that has the personality of a sociopath?
Jorgensen?
I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
What I mean is that I'll explain to you. You as the I'll explain. No, let me explain. You as the individual, you are a wonderful being. You're a soul deserving of love. But the entirety of AT&T, somewhere in that massive network of employees, humanity has been discarded and replaced with something so dark and malevolent that all it wants is to absorb the life force of those waiting for their T1 connection, a kind of massive vampiric force that is intertwining into the very depths of the souls of humanity.
Jorgensen?
The idea is that you are okay and your coworkers are okay, but together they form a kind of Voltron, the toy from the 80s, a kind of superorganism that has no soul.
I think that we are complicit in that. Jorgensen, I'm sorry about that. He's a classics professor. He's I think what he's trying to say is that, like, the question is, are we complicit, all of us, in the goings-on of the superorganism?
I'm still not quite understanding that question.
I guess if you think about...
I understand that he is also upset about the delay.
Yeah.
And I understand that for both of you. And again, I can only apologize.
Okay.
And I know that we've took the different steps of certain compensations that we've reviewed already on what was done with the previous delays. And right now, since the technician is coming, albeit late, if you do have any other concerns at all, then we're certainly here. You can give us a call, or if you are, whenever you're ready for other services where we can see what great value we can get for those services, because I'm sure you have others besides just this internet, right? Other maybe television, home phone, cell services. Those other items are areas where we can check.
Wonderful. Thank you. It's Jorgensen again. I'm actually, believe it or not, eager to work with AT&T and to connect every aspect of my life to AT&T. But I have one final question for you, my dear, and thank you for your patience. If you will forgive me, I just had my left leg amputated. I was attacked by a dog 2 weeks ago, and it became septic. My question is this, and I know this is outside of your range, perhaps, but personally, can you offer some advice to me and my lover here? Some advice about how we can enjoy life more? Just something you do on a day-to-day basis to connect more with the joy of existence itself.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jordan. That's something that I can't really discuss during this call if I value my job. But if you have any other questions regarding your Uverse account or any other AT&T services, I would be happy to assist.
Thank you. Okay, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Melissa.
I'm going to rub...
Melissa, thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to...
You're both very welcome. Again, totally my goal from the beginning was to provide you both with excellent customer service. Level 5.
Ow, I'm sorry. Hold on a moment. Ow!
Jorgensen.
Ow! Caesar-upping bomb on my leg.
Well, as soon as Jesse gets here, I'll take care of it, okay? Thank you, Melissa.
Oh, thank you so much. Again, I'm sorry about all the trouble. Sounds like he's in pain. I just wanted to ask you real quick, have I done everything to ensure that you were very satisfied with my overall service?
You crushed it. You did a great job. Jorgensen is without... it's a every day is a struggle at this point.
Bring me my pills.
Okay.
I hear you.
Bring me my pills.
Once Jesse gets here, it'll be fine.
Calling AT&T.
Thank you so much.
My pills.
Thank you, Melissa. You too. Have a good day. Have a good use the rotisserie. It's a good day for that. Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah. Thank you again.
Good luck with
Bye
that. Okay. Thank you so much. Good luck. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thanks, Jorgensen. That's much better. That's good.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank you so much. I know. Thank you. I'm sorry for I'm in so much pain. It hurts so much.
Pain is a construct.
It isn't a construct. It hurts.
Construct.
Just please give me my pills.
It's a construct. We've talked about this before.
Why did you tell me to go in that yard?
Because we had to get that ball back. Otherwise, Mindy wasn't going to have that.
I can't run anymore.
Jorgensen?
Did you still have questions? Because we're still connected.
I know.
Yeah, I just want to know what you would do if you weren't able to do the things you loved. The pain, it haunts me.
You can still read.
I don't want to read. I want to run. I want to go in the woods again and walk and look.
Jorgensen. Jorgie.
Oh.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm sorry, Jorgie's he's difficult at best.
No problem.
Right. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with the weather. I know everything's going to work out great. We're doing fine here for the most part. He gets in these things where he's like, he's a classics professor. He has his dissertation due, and I feel like what happens is it exacerbates these things physically. Have you heard the book Healing Back Pain by Joseph Sarno? It's interesting because it talks about how a lot of
It's from the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. I grow old, I shall wear my trousers rolled.
I hope that you feel better.
I have seen the mermaids singing each to each. I do not think that they will sing for me.
That's an illusion. You know, it's the class. He's referencing this poet that he's obsessed with. But he knows that it's an alliteration. It's not like it's an illusion. It's not really not an illusion like an I, but an A. Like it alludes to a moment in time and in the brain, not specifically not a literal fact of mermaids or trousers. But either way, I'm sorry. I was just trying to explain his behavior. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for helping us out. And can you send Alex our love as well? I'm sorry, it was Kyle. I always get those names confused. They have similar tones and similar internal tones. Yes, if you could make sure that Kyle has been thanked, and also I don't know who we spoke with someone named Genesis. I don't know if it's his real name or not, but it's a good name. Obviously, it's a great name to start the call with a person named Genesis. So as the Bible
Sure,
says.
all the records are in the system with
Cool.
who Paul has gone, but I
Yeah.
did note that Kyle connected you to me,
Mhm.
and I did also note that Jesse did finally reach out to you.
He
and
did.
That, he's heading to your home today.
Ask her where we can send a card.
Okay, Jorgensen.
Ask her where we can send a card to thank them.
Yeah, is there an address we can send a card to thank you, Melissa, and Kyle, and also Genesis?
On the back of your bill, there's a main address for anything mailing. I don't
Okay.
actually know what office the other representatives are in.
Okay.
But yeah, any correspondence, or if you do get a call, hopefully you'll be able to leave a message of the comments as well, and that's usually put in our file. We really appreciate
Thank you so much. I just want to send you a card and say that even though sometimes it feels as though happiness is always outside our grasp, it's the longing that is the grace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, think that you want to send in the main AT&T address for any correspondence. It's listed on the back of your bill.
Okay. We're paperless, though, I believe.
Then you'll just want to check, if you check through the My AT&T app,
Okay.
and you can view a PDF version of your bill, and it will still list all the same information, because all the pages will show there.
Okay.
One more thing. I'm so sorry. When I was a child,
Jorgensen?
I held a dandelion.
Sorry, because
I held a dandelion and I blew it, and the little drifting seeds made me think of the souls of all of us.
respectfully, I do need to go.
Okay. Sorry, Melissa. He just,
Best
he's...
for both of you this weekend, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with the rotisserie, okay? Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, Melissa.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Appreciate everything. Thank you again.
My pleasure.
Great. Thank you.
I want to thank you as well. And in the words of Daniel Finney, my thanks to you is 1,000 stars burning bright. May it light the darkest of your... This is Jorgensen.
give me the phone.
May it light the darkest of your nights. And may it be a guide stone in your mine of darkness.
Jorgensen.
Go. I know you want to share this information with me, but respectfully, unless there are other AT&T business, I would need to go. You
Okay.
can hang up the line.
Okay. Bye, Melissa.
I appreciate it. All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to...
Jorgensen.
I think of the Coleridge poem, "A damsel with a dulcimer, in a vision once I saw. She was a fair Abyssinian maid, and on her dulcimer she played, singing of Mount Abera. Could I revive within me that symphony and song? To such a deep delight would win me, that with music loud and long I would build those domes in air, those sunny domes, those caves of ice."
Those ice, those wonders, those crickles, those craws.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Sorry, he keeps taking over, as he always does. We'll let you go.
Okay.
Go for it. Go ahead. You got it. You're free to roam, free to loam. Free range.
Wander free, my dear, into the great green hills of your life.
I'm sorry, because since you're both staying on the line, is there something else that you're needing assistance with? Because you're not hanging up, I want to make sure your needs are covered.
Thank
it sounds
you.
Like
I need the assistance that you give yourself to find a lover that you truly connect with, a life of meaning, but most importantly, that you love with all of your being.
Planet Cash.
Because you don't know, it can change on a dime. I was jogging in marathons and a dog chewed my leg.
Well, you asked for it.
And that's because of you, Duncan. That's because of you.
I have nothing to do with that. You know that.
You told me to go in that yard.
I asked you if you wanted to go in that yard.
Disconnect the line.
Hi, Melissa. Sorry about that. My hands are
I
tied.
understand. I'm just asking, are you able to disconnect the line?
I don't know what that means exactly, but
Oh, hang up the phone? Are you able to hang up the phone?
Oh, this is a cell phone, so it's just an iPhone. We don't have a traditional handset.
In-call option on the iPhone.
In call.
Other concerns, if you can press the in-call option if you're done with me, I would appreciate that.
I'm just not familiar with. I don't personally know about that feature. It's like a merge.
iPhone.
Right, iPhone.
A button that says in-call or disconnect, however you hang
No.
up the call on your previous calls when you talk on your iPhone.
I never do actually. I'm always using it in the Bluetooth, or I do the thing where it's the satellite device that is it's connected to it. So I never end up. I guess I didn't realize that. I don't. I'm always just waiting for someone else. I think I don't. I've never actually had to do that.
Hang up the phone, you
Jorgensen, you don't know.
idiot!
You don't have no idea what I'm talking about.
Let her go!
I've said, Melissa.
You've
Thank you so
snared
much,
her like a dolphin in a net, you monster! Let her go!
Melissa. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. It's supposed to hang up now, right?
Press the hang up. I'm so sorry, Melissa.
There's no hang up button there.
He is ruined my life. And now he's trapped you on the phone.
I don't.
As he's trapped me in this chair. In pain, in sorrow, in bitterness, all because I loved him once, and now I am doomed.
This is a temporary state. You know it. Okay. Have I disconnected here? I think I've done it. Okay. I think it's disconnected.
You are a bastard. You kept her on the line for an hour.
No, I didn't.
At least you kept her on the line.
I have not at all. That's not true at all.
Look at you.
I was on hold most of
Look
the time.
what you've done to her. The same you've done to me.
I was on hold. I had no
The
control
same
over
you
that.
do to all of your lovers.
I had no control over that. I was on hold. I was waiting. We've been waiting here. You weren't waiting the last 2 days. I was.
wait because I can't fucking walk anymore, you bastards.
That has nothing to do with me, and you know it. Hello, is anyone here? I'm trying to make a. I'll call. I'm gonna call David and tell him what you told me. Hello.
Yes.
Hello, David.
Oh, yes, this is still Melissa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to call David, our friend David Jim.
Oh, no, you haven't hung up from the line here. But what I'll
No,
do,
I-
if you're okay with this, then I'll go ahead and drop the line. Is that okay? You can't hang up from
Wait
there.
a second. Let me just try calling David here. This always does it when I do the new call.
You're not going to be able to call David while I'm
You will not call David.
going to go ahead and drop the line.
You will
I'm gonna
not
release the line
tattletale
now,
on
and
me.
You'll be able to make your call because we've resolved everything.
Yes, that's true. I'm just trying to make a new call here, and I can't seem to. I just want to make a new call.
I understand. So
Okay.
wait a minute. Let me go ahead and release the line, and in 1 minute.
You have ruined her.
Hold on.
So I'm releasing now, and I do thank you again for calling AT&T.
Melissa, thank you so much. Okay,
You're very welcome. Bye-bye.
okay, here we go. Oh my fucking god! That woman's gonna have something to talk about for the next 3 weeks. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow, what a journey we just went on.
Here's the other thing is Jesse still ain't here yet, man.
I know, dude. I know. And he might not come. It's like but I think, that the call from Jesse, the fact that we captured that.
And you have his number, too.
I have Jesse's
You have a number. Ostensibly, it's maybe his number.
Man, holy shit, you guys who are still here, thank you for taking that journey with us. That what you've just listened to truly is just the climax of the last 3 days of my life dealing with AT&T, and now thanks to your patience and Johnny's help here, we're going to have a fucking T1 line, and theoretically I'll finally be able to stream this motherfucker.
And you also may be able to use that to purchase the latest cassette in the Starburns cassette series called Recorded for Quality Assurance from Johnny Pemberton, which features the greatest of customer service calls made by myself.
You are a master.
It's coming out in February.
That was amazing. That was artful. You were...
That's just that's a little taste.
And this tape is just a series of calls like
that. Well, it's not like that so much, but it's a little more less, it's more comedic, I guess you could say. It's also a little more condensed.
That was, I know. Yeah. I mean, do you think I should edit this down, or should I just give them the whole fucking enchilada?
I don't know. It depends on what you have.
Maybe I should put the entirety up on Patreon if someone just wants to suffer, and then I'll cut out I don't know though, but there's something about the dreary long length to really get across the horror of the thing. Thanks for you guys. I'll just put in the intro. I'll be like, hey, the last part of this is an hour with a great ending, but a long build up. So people don't maybe can skip to the end or something. But people need to hear that, because it's kind of like how often it's like putting a stethoscope into Satan's asshole. It's like hearing the rippling pulsation of the intestinal tract of Satan is what that is. It's like hearing the fucking mucusy bubbling innards of the devil.
Because it's all with that face, the face of, oh, hi, yes.
God,
we can't do that.
Don't really understand. We can't, the bundled package. And if we wanted to rebundle your package, then maybe we could send a signal to the. And what's really funny is
when she said that was the best. Yeah.
The invitation to do more stuff with AT&T is really funny. It's like it's like it's as though if you're it's like if a flu virus. Could call you and ask permission to continue to spread through your body. Like, hey, I'm down here making your stomach pretty fucked up. I was wondering, would you be cool with me getting into your lungs?
If you spend a little bit more money, it might be a little bit better.
Yeah. Let me just spread into your mucous membranes. What do you think?
Well, if you let me do a little bit more, if you give me a little bit more to work with, I might be able to give you a little bit more.
Yeah, that's crazy that they can...
Oh, you know what? Your problem might be because you're not giving us enough to work with.
Wow.
Maybe if you invested a bit more. Are you serious about working with AT&T?
Well, you know what? I think that we owe AT&T a big thank you for finally getting somebody out here after 3 days to do the T1. I guess you guys, if you feel inclined to do it in a non-malicious, sweet way... Give them a call. Yeah. And thank them for getting a T1 line over here for the DTFH, because we're going to be able to stream video now.
Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa.
Kyle. Genesis.
Yeah, give them a call. And I don't, by the way, don't do it. I don't want you guys, I want to thank them.
Yeah.
So just call them, and whoever you talk to, just thank Melissa. Say you just want to get a thank you.
There's nothing more disruptive than kindness.
Yeah. To thank Melissa, Kyle, and Genesis for solving this problem that I've been going through for the last 2 days. I stink. I smell bad. I really do.
AT&T shut down because they've been flooded with calls of praise. How cool would that be?
Yeah, call and thank them.
Shut them down.
And don't do what we just did, which is don't accidentally leave them on the line for a long time because they can't hang up. Just call and do a concise, sweet thank you, but certainly don't keep them on a line, and definitely don't, if you do keep them on the line, don't record your calls and
don't record them
and get it to me.
Even though it's completely legal.
It is legal to do because they're already recording you.
Right.
But definitely don't do that, guys. Just call them and say thank you if you feel so inclined.
Yeah, you definitely should not, find a way to have a computer respond to intervals long enough to maintain a presence of the person on the line by continually asking AT&T tangential germane questions using a special AI speaking program that you developed because you're saying that you can't speak, so you're using this program to speak for you.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, because one thing's for sure. We don't want to waste their time.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, we definitely do not want you to call up AT&T and keep an operator on indefinitely like mid-air refueling by using a special computer that has enough intelligence to respond at intervals with intelligent responses that keep it germane so as to essentially take a person to the level of possibly exhaustion or falling over to be replaced with another human to a call that never ends because it's never breaching protocol that would terminate the call.
And don't do that, and definitely don't ask them about that mysterious date.
Yeah.
What was it?
December 31st, 2036. Definitely do not circle that in your calendar as the last day that you have to live. That, that's a completely random date. That right there, man, that right there was worth the entire fucking day.
Absolutely, to know
Finding out that is the date that the fucking telecom computers think that.
That's a good website to buy, December 31st, 2036.com.
Oh, that shit's taken. If you buy that, they're like, why are you buying this? What interest have you in this date? What have you to say?
There's so many days. Why does this day have any special power over any of the other days?
I just chose it random. Oh, you chose it random. You say, how is it that you arrived at such a number? The last day of the year of an odd interval as integers, 36. I would say 40 or 35 might make more sense. I just fucking like December 31st, didn't you?
Johnny, I'm excited as hell about your tape. I can't wait to
listen
to that.
Yep.
And thank you so much for helping me with that. Honestly, the thing you just did, I didn't have the energy to do it anymore. Like, you can hear I'm losing my voice a little bit.
Yeah.
That's from being on the phone with them for 7 hours total,
right.
But me personally, 5.
Oof.
The most insane thing. Thank you for you. You're basically like someone who came into hell and escorted me out. I really appreciate it.
So what's it called? Search and rescue.
You just saved me, and now we'll have that sweet T1 line, baby.
Can't wait.
You guys, Hare Krishna, Johnny, I love you. Thank you so much.
Peace be to people on earth.
That was Johnny Pemberton, everybody.